We're starting the show, but we're gonna play the intro. So give me a second. Yeah, I know. It's me. It's me. It's me. It's me. There we go.
Oh.
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the season one finale of the Love Gymnastics podcast with your host, Michaela Loves Gymnastics, your co host, Oscar. And today we have a very interesting show plan. I hope you all get into this topic that we came up with. Um, we already decided that season two we're gonna be much better with getting these topics out and just coming up here on some random shit like we always do. So this is our first test. We actually have a whole topic that we are going to be planned and be talking about. This is our good co-host Oscar's topic, and I really think it's going to be fun. But before we get into the meats and potatoes, oh, I got to tell y'all what the topic is. What we're doing is we're going to go back in time. Y'all seen on my Twitter page, we've been in the 80s in gymnastics. We're going to go into the 80s, right? And we're going to take all the teams that they sent to the Olympics and Worlds, and we're going to pick the best team from the Romanians, the Soviet Union, and the Americans. And when we get to the 90s, we'll bring other teams along, maybe the Chinese, maybe like the Ukrainians, but I don't know them people, and y'all would be up here have me lying to y'all if I was talking about some who was the best Chinese team. I would be lying. So I'm not. I'm just going to do the three teams I know, which are the Americans, the Romanians, and the Soviets, and we're going to pick their best teams of all the teams they sent to the Worlds or the Olympics between 1980 and 1988. But before we get there, ladies and gentlemen, hi YouTube. YouTube been tripping on my ass lately again. So if y'all not getting the notifications, I'm sorry. It is what it is. But I will do like I did last time, and we're gonna record on YouTube, and then after the show ends, I'll upload it to the Twitter because I know we have more followers over there on Twitter. Um, what else is going on? So we have a lot of people visiting schools right now. We have a lot of hell, it doesn't even feel like we're even into the next generation of elites, and they're already going to college, visiting schools and stuff. And it's I don't know. I'm not gonna say it's weird. It's just I'm not particularly used to it like this. It seems like these colleges are really trying to recruit these girls right and early.
Who
I
are
don't
you
know how I feel
thinking
about
of?
even like a girl like Simone Rose. Like I mean, I know she's an elite, but it just feels like she's a young elite. Like it doesn't feel like her mind should be focused on college yet, but I guess it is. I don't know.
Well, she turned senior last or this year, 2024. She made the Olympic trials. Wouldn't it be like, do you know off the top of your head when a gymnast like Maddie Larson committed to UCLA? Because she turned senior in 2008, right?
I think she turned senior in 2008. But again, it was a different time in gymnastics. She might have committed very young. I just didn't pay attention because I wasn't as plugged in as I am now. So it didn't feel so icky the way it feels now. Like it feels like, and again, icky is the wrong word because it does feel good because the girls definitely, like I said in a previous show, they have another option than just elite gymnastics, and all of these girls are trying to take advantage of that option to the best of their abilities, and that's no tea, no shade. That's what they're supposed to do. It just feels like I don't know, like at least it used to feel like at least I used to at least the top girls, the lower level girls is a different story, but at least the top girls, at least you used to see them at national championships before they start committing to schools. And again, I know we've seen Simone Rose at national championships. I just haven't been paying her attention. But it just feels so at least let the girl get her 4 year cycle before she gets start committing to schools. But that's but again, that's what happens when you raise the age of the sport because yeah, the girls don't have
Oh wait, come back to your microphone.
that's a sign. Now the girls are 15 or 17 now when they turn seniors, so now they have to start thinking about schools and colleges and stuff at an earlier age than they used to. So I think that's also part of it. Why it feels just like damn, like the girl just turned senior, leave her alone. But no, she's 17. She needs to think about what school she's gonna go to.
I have two comments based off what you said, or three. One, I'm agree. I'm glad that the girls or the gymnasts have the options to do elite and college at the same time. Two, I'm a bit confused. I feel like I'm missing some information because I thought my understanding was that recently there was like in the past few years, not necessarily this year, there was a rule change about when the colleges can contact the gymnasts based off of their age or the type of contact that they're performing or not performing, like it can be verbal or it can only be in person, something like that. I can't remember what it was. Hopefully you know what I'm talking about.
I think the rule change is that the schools aren't allowed to publicly, physically contact the athletes until they are at least a junior in high school.
Okay.
I don't I don't like before these schools was getting these verbal commitments when these girls were still in middle school. I
Right.
don't I don't think that's allowed anymore. I think you I think you have to at least be a junior in high school to even give out a verbal commitment.
I think that's wise, that change, because wouldn't that promote like a longer career, healthier career for the gymnast potentially instead of burning out as a younger, flashier gymnast being the best to or the most appealing gymnast when you're younger, like 12 or 13?
Another I think that's another reason why I don't know. It just feels icky a little bit, but not really. Like I don't know how I really feel, so I'm just saying the word icky.
When you said icky, I was like, oh, that's a bit confusing because I feel like it would have been, it's a better or a healthier change. And it was more icky to me when they were recruiting them at such a young age.
Correct. The thing that feels icky about it to me now is just the pub, pub, publicity of it all. It's like, oh,
Mm.
this.
Oh, we can't hear you again.
Oh, y'all can't. Can you hear me
Your
now?
mic must be, I didn't realize it was that sensitive. It looked like you barely moved and you totally dropped off.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I had unplugged it out the computer. um, what I was saying is, it just feels like the publicity of it all. It feels kind of icky. It feels like
See, I wasn't around when you were watching NCAA, so I'd be so curious to hear what it was like. Like, what has changed in terms of the
At least, like,
publicizing the
correct.
relationships between the gymnasts and the
At
colleges
least
before they've
the
gone.
persona of it all was, I'm sure the schools even back in the day were campaigning to get all these girls to go to their school. I'm sure they was, right? It just wasn't public knowledge. It just didn't.
Do you think NIL has a big role in the changes that have taken place, or not really?
Absolutely,
Oh,
and
absolutely. Okay.
absolutely, and how can I explain it? Okay, this is why it feels icky. This is why it feels icky. All the girls aren't getting the same opportunities. Like, it seems like some of these schools, for some of these big names, some of these 4 and 5 star recruits, are really rolling out the red carpet for some of these girls, whereas other girls are like, okay, I'm here. Um, I'm here. I don't know. I don't feel one way or another strongly about this issue the way I'm making it out to be. Like, it seems like I really feel strongly about this issue. I really don't. It just, I don't know. I just liked it better when it was a little bit less public. Like, for Khalees, like, I would have really loved to never known that she committed to Clemson, and she just showed up in her University of Georgia Leo, and everyone was like, "Oh, she went to Georgia." Like, I don't know.
So probably the way that the universities throw money at the prospective gymnasts has changed. Like, maybe less flying gymnasts or recruits on their private jets, more like upfront, here's how you can earn money as an athlete at our university. That's just a guess. I mean, who's to say that they're not still flying out gymnasts on their
Oh,
jets?
they definitely are still. It just okay. It feels to me that what was going on behind the scenes is now going on in front of the scenes. And I
So
just
then they don't have shame about their greed. Is that what you're saying?
maybe that's what it is.
Where is the shame?
Maybe that's what it is.
Another idea I had when you were originally saying how you felt was this is probably like a new, there's no precedent for, or the precedent would be so long ago that I doubt it would really be relevant. Maybe like the 80s or before that, about the average age of the national team, the US being older, or even the Olympic team being older. So the up and coming girls are not at the top of the pack. And maybe that's why it seems like it's different than before when usually, or they don't
And
have that cycle to be on an elite, you know?
that's it. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. It's because of the age change. Like, the girls have more longevity into the sport or whatever. So it feels like the school should be now recruiting Jordan and Jade and all of them other people. But I have to realize these are like
Mm.
25, 20, between these girls are 23 and 25. Like, they're not between 15 and 16 like it used to be. So it feels like those should be the girls that the schools are recruiting, but they're not because yeah, Jordan and Jade are like 1 year away from being done from college right now. So, um,
Right,
well,
that's
no,
another great point to make, that the older gymnasts who are at the top of the national team, they in the past would not have been able to compete collegiately, so they would have been entering college at a much older age, I guess. And now they've already had the opportunity to do both. So it's just a very new precedent, I guess. That's interesting. Like Shilese. When did Tasha Schweikert go to UCLA? How old was she?
that's a great example. Tasha Schreiker had already had 2 Olympic cycles under her belt. before she even turned 18 to go to college.
So she must have been like in 23 or something as a
I
freshman. That's kind of crazy. Not
No, I think she was
crazy,
like
but
19 when she went to college because, again, I think she just was 15 going into 2000. I mean, just barely made the age eligibility for 2000. And then when she was an alternate in 2004, I think she was only 19. So she probably went to college at 19 or 20.
yeah, I think you're right. There are probably other examples of gymnasts being even older when they ended up entering college, but that was the first one I could think of.
But see, like, what I mean when I say it just feels off is because now the girls don't have that separation, which is good. Which in the long run, I'm saying it feels icky, but I'm also saying it's a good thing for the sport. It's just me as a fan. I just have to get used to this new way of doing things. Um, like the girls are literally doing college and elite at the same time. There is no separation the way it used to be. So the girls are trying to get into these schools because hell, half the time I'm pretty sure they feel like the school is probably, especially for some of these girls who go to some of these gyms that aren't known for sending people to the Olympics, maybe going to UCLA, maybe going to Florida is a better path to going to the Olympics. Maybe they have a better shot with Owen Fields or a Courtney McCool.
Hey,
As
but you can't, that's not a valid argument to say. Sorry, I'm like, no. To say that Gage is a gym that's known for not sending gymnasts to the Olympics. That's not true, is
when
it?
was the first time they sent the gymnasts to the Olympics?
The last time, was it 2004? Was that the first time also? But they always have like a alternate, someone in the mix. But you said what you said. What you said was correct, I guess. But it felt wrong.
But a lot of these people, like, and then like, look at Leanne. Leanne was stuck at Gage for all this time, and Gage was,
I
I mean,
need Leanne to give her tell all interview. Like, I need to know if she actually felt that way when she was at the end of being at Gage, or if her eyes were like opened when she stepped outside of Gage. You know what I mean? I didn't know it could be this good. I didn't know I didn't have to do that bullshit. Just an idea.
maybe Leanne is a bad example because either way she was an alternate Florida or
Not too much. Not too much.
maybe she's not the best example that I could have thought of.
Here's a what about Aaliyah Finnegan? Even though she did she use LSU coaches?
I think she did.
But that's a good example, I feel like, right? Or that would fit.
I mean, all she had to do was switch countries.
Right, but also like I feel my outside perspective is that she was kind of like paid less attention or given less motivation because she had such great teammates at the time.
Absolutely.
Like she could have been the star at a different gym with less elites. The way Suni says.
Yes. Um, yeah, it just, I don't know. It just, but you're right. It's because, like, even though we had a whole, like, even though this squad, we have a bunch of new girls. We have a bunch of new girls who enter into senior competition. This is the first squad in a while where all the top girls have been around for a while. Like, even none of the newer girls, it's been very hard for them to break through to the top of the pack. And even like when they do break through to the top of the pack, they still have kind of been around for a while, like Shilese. Like Shilese isn't a new gymnast. Shilese been around for a while. It's just now it's just her time. Like Um,
And didn't it take Jordan like 4 years to place at nationals? Or no, she was second in 2017. I'm so sorry, Jordan. But she didn't make a world or Olympic team for a few years.
Jordan is very lucky that COVID year happened because I'm not sure if she would have made 2020 if it wasn't for that gap year.
We think it would have been maybe like we've had this conversation before, but I can't remember. And it's fun and quick. It would be Morgan would be on the team. I think Suni would be on the team, but I don't know if she was injured or not. Simone would be on the team, and probably it's smart to just put Jade Carey on the team, right?
She was already at her event specialist spot. They wouldn't have put her on the main team.
Oh, we're still following the rules. Okay. Or someone, yeah. So the fourth gymnast,
Probably would have made most sense would have been Michaela Skinner at that point in time.
I would take Leanne over Michaela, but okay.
At that moment in time,
Because the
that would
team, they could not have used Michaela on bars and beam if they needed to. And it was a four-person team.
I mean, they could have just dropped her score.
But a three up, three count, she would lose them so many points compared to Leanne's routines. But if we feel differently, we feel differently. That's okay.
I'm just bringing Michaela to do vault. That's it. Like,
I understand that if it was like a five-person or more, but four people, I think you need people who you can use their scores on everything.
I don't think so. I think that's the Tom Forster way of thinking. I think that's how Team USA got caught into the position that they needed. You just need to do the same thing you did just with four people.
But we saw how you can have an injury or a gymnast have to withdraw so easily.
Correct, but
So you would just take that out if that happens?
you have to, it's a four-person team. Like
I think you're losing if you're using Michaela Skinner's bars and beam. I think you're losing.
have Morgan and Suni there to pick up the slack.
This is my opinion. We could run the numbers another time.
And then plus you now have Michaela there to vault, which is why I think Team USA was in such a hole in 2021 when Simone only was able to do a Yurchenko 1.5. They could never fill that hole back into place. And then you don't have Jade Carey as an option. Like clearly Jade Carey is the person that should have been on the team, but Team
Right.
USA.
Okay, that's why I said Jade first, because I feel like she should have been on the team.
Yeah, I mean clearly in
Okay.
hindsight, Jade was the fourth person. Like, there was always going to be in a hole without Jade Carey being on the main team. Like that was why they.
So if we have Simone, Jade, Suni, and Morgan, who are the two individuals? I can think of two, but it's like, oh, I'm a little scared.
Riley McCusker and it would be between Riley and Kara
Yeah, exactly.
and Michaela. Michaela's lucky nobody else is a vaulter, and it would be Michaela Skinner.
Between them, but I'm never taking Michaela if Jade and Simone are already on the team.
Oh, well then I could take both Riley and damn Kara. Let Riley
I
do the
think that's
all
what I would do,
around
but it would
and
make me
she.
really nervous.
Yeah, see the thing is with that four-person team in those two event specialist spots, I think I figured out how you make that team make sense is you sacrifice one of your all arounders for the main team and let that all arounder be your events, be a specialist, and let them do the all around and whatever events in that, and you take your three best event people with Simone as clearly as the all arounder, and you make it make sense.
Oh, wait, I thought I understood that you were saying three best all-arounders and a specialist, but now it sounds like you're
Now
taking one best all-arounder and three specialists?
on the main team, and you send your second best all arounder as your specialist.
What does that
That's
mean,
how.
specialists? Do you mean like the individual spot?
Yes, that's how you do a four-person team to make it make sense.
Let's do it really quickly. You have Simone doing everything in team final.
You send Suni to be your event specialist. I'm sorry, Suni, you don't get a team medal.
That's
You
fine.
send Jade. You send Jade on the main team. Let's see who else.
Jade is doing definitely vault and floor. Now you need some bars and beam.
Riley McCusker.
Does it matter that Riley McCusker was so injured that she could only do bars? Or are we just making things up?
I thought we were doing in 2000 when she wasn't hurt.
2020? Oh, yeah, we are.
Oh,
Okay. I lost
yeah,
track. Sorry.
we was doing in 2020. I'm so sorry when she wasn't hurt. So
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
Riley.
she would have been on my team in 2020, 2019. I don't remember her competing in 2020 because she had like rhabdo or something. But she was in great form and she would have deserved an all-around spot, in my opinion. Potentially. I don't know who her competition is. So we're putting Riley on bars and beam for sure.
It depends. See, Morgan also would be on. See, I'm not sure if I would put Riley on my main team because I have Morgan, and I'm not sure how it would have played out that year between them two. I really, it would have been close because Morgan was doing her hardest bar routine, and it was way harder than Riley in 2020. So I'm not sure how it would have played out. I'm just not.
What's the argument for putting Morgan on? Why it's better for Morgan to be on the team than an individual? Did you just say that?
It depends on who is the second best all arounder at the time. I'm not sure if it would have been Riley, Morgan, or Sumi. But whoever that second place girl is, I'm sorry to you, mamas. You will be the sacrificial lamb for that four-person team because Jade Carey is going to the Olympics and she's going on the main team.
We have to plug something in. So who's on the team? Who are individuals?
Okay. So I'm just going by the 2020 American Cup.
I just remembered that Riley actually, I think if I remember correctly, she looked great in 2019 at the US Classic, put up her 15 on beam or whatever, and then she had rhabdo and withdrew from day 2 of nationals and worlds. And then 2020, I think she was still recovering and honestly didn't compete and was like in recovery. And then 2021, when she was able to switch to gyms to be with Jade's father, that's when she started learning new skills and really building her power before her injury at one of those early competitions. Does that sound right?
That sounds, yes, that sounds right. And actually, if I'm thinking about it very closely, in 2020, I don't think Riley McCusker would have been on the team. It would have been Lee Ann. It would have been if I'm, it would have been a battle between definitely Simone. That's not even a question. Simone would have been on the team, right? And then
And Jade,
for
I thought.
yeah, and Jay, they have to be on the two. Like in order to get that gold medal, you need those two girls. The two other girls would be somewhere between Suni and Morgan, or Riley, or Kara, or Leanne.
But just give its two names.
It
You can
definitely would have
change your
been.
minds.
I think it would have been Suni and Morgan. I think that's the. I think that's the team that would have won the gold medal.
That's the first team I gave you. I agree.
I'm sorry, everybody else. Leanne probably would have moved her way up to all around specialist.
So now
Um,
it's between for the specialist. It's between Riley, Leanne, and Cara.
and then in 2020, it probably would have been Leanne and Carl.
Okay, Gage. So which events are the girls doing on the team? Or is everyone in the team final, I guess?
Team final, we got vault. It's gonna be probably Suni was vaulting better than Morgan at that time, so it probably would be Suni, Jade, Simone.
I know someone out there is listening and is like, actually, Sunisa was like horribly injured at this time.
I think she was actually. I really think she was. But Suni could easily be. You could take Suni out and you could put in Leanne. You could take Suni out and put in.
Remember, Leanne still had her in bars and her like pack chow half.
Yeah, Leanne was still doing her Russian bar routine.
Okay, I see the team, how it comes together. So who's sitting out? Um, who's sitting out? Who's doing floor, Suni or Morgan?
It would be Suni. She's the world silver medalist.
So Morgan's just a bars beam person. Great.
Yeah, Morgan and Jade mates balance each other out, and then Simone and
And do you
Suni.
think Cara or Leanne are making any events?
With the way things played out, I think Cara could have made beam finals.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think.
Considering, yeah. Sorry.
And then depending on, well, nah, I think Leanne and not Leanne. I think Suni and Morgan probably would have beat Simone for bars with the routine Morgan did at American Cup.
Yeah, I think that was a harder routine than Leanne's ever competed.
Because wasn't Morgan working on? She was.
She didn't have any of her Nabievas. I don't think she ever even competed them, if I'm remembering correctly. But she had Downey to pack, and I think
Yeah,
she had.
great for her too because she was just doing Rickna to pack the whole time and she did something with like her Maloney starter full to Pike to Kachev or something like that, which was an
That
upgrade.
sounds exactly right. Yeah, which is a great combination.
And I know she was working on doing her Komova 2 out of that again. And she was
Any
also,
type of chapoche to a D pirouette is worth point two, right?
I'm not sure if it was worth point two under that code, but I know it is under this code.
Yes, that's what I meant. Thank you.
Um,
Have we had enough of this, or are we having so much fun we want to keep going? This
it's,
tangent.
I'm kind of stuck on this right now because I'm like, I don't know. But yeah, let's get to what we're actually talking about because
Can I just mention a few
sure.
news things that I heard about that I thought were
Let's
interesting? Just want to
let's
share with anyone who cares. In no particular order, we have this new Chinese ingenue protege, Ke Tintin, who has like the best flexibility on the national team. She's a junior, but she's officially signed on to train with the national team, or she's been selected. She's been training in her province this whole time, and people are very scared because the national coaches have been known to fuck up their talented young rising gymnast, but also could be a great thing. We don't know, and we're just praying for the best because she is truly talented. Beautiful pirouettes, laid out Jaeger, training a DTY, gorgeous oversplit, beautiful form on everything, very textbook. I saw Athora from the Netherlands is back in the gym doing legit gymnastics, which made me very happy.
Oh, I saw Ondine at
That was
Cal.
on my list. Yeah. Ondine is doing her a little bit of tumbling on the beam. She's back after 4 months, I think, roughly, from her surgery.
That's amazing.
I saw that Michelle Pineda, who is the 2024 Pan American champion, can't remember if it's Pan American Games or Championships. I think it's
Champion.
Championships. But she won that all around. And she trained at Metroplex. I'm not sure if she still does. She represents Mexico now as an elite, and she committed to UCLA today.
Can you tell the people that story if they don't know? Michelle Pinea, how she used to be an American, but then, well, I mean, she is an American. I'm so sorry, that was kind of xenophobic. How she used to train for America, and then she switched to Mexico.
Wait, I would be happy to, but I think that's mostly all I know about the whole situation. What would you like to know?
Oh, I thought you had more details on the
She's
situation.
the
Of why.
2024 Pan American Championships all around medalist. She also won the balance beam gold, silver on the floor, and bronze with her team. Um, yeah, she switched in 2023. She was still competing. She went to nationals, and 2024 her only competition was Pan Am's. That's all I know. I'm sorry. And then the last two things I had were two commits that I'm excited about to OU, gymnasts who both have beautiful form and interesting skill selection, I would say. Evelyn Lowe, Evie Lowe, and Madray Johnson, former national junior champion.
I'm kind of surprised at that. She doesn't seem like an OU girl to me.
To me,
Madre.
I see this could be so wrong. So it's just a guess, it's not an assumption. Don't come for me. But I see these two gymnasts as gymnasts who want to win, especially Mad Ray. She never really lived up to her senior potential, even though her career as a senior has been quite short. Like she could totally keep going and have great success. But I think that if you go to OU, you want to win. That's how I
Yes,
see it.
yes, I completely agree. And I think Madre um, made a post or something like she still plans on doing elite.
Oh, really? I didn't see that, but that would be great because she does great skills in elite. I mean, not always the hardest, but I love her beam.
I think she made a post or something saying that she's happily committed to OU because that's the school that's best to help her with her NCAA and elite dreams. I think that's what her post was or something to that extent.
Michelle, just to be clear, has verbally committed. That's what she said.
Okay.
And I'm looking for Mad Ray's post. The
She,
last
I
piece of news I had also was, while I'm looking for that, is my very one of my very favorite gymnasts, up and coming gymnast, Kamara Williams. She committed to Georgia, and that's not very fresh news. It happened like a few days ago, but I'm very excited about it. Another reason to root for Georgia this season for me.
I wonder if Georgia have a better NIL contract now because a lot of these girls are born in Georgia. And I mean, no tea, no shade to Cecile, but I don't think it's just for Cecile.
Okay, Madre says she is also only verbally committed to OU, and she says, "Thank you to all these people and the university for seeing my potential and offering me the opportunity to pursue my academic, NCAA, and elite goals as part of this team of incredible women." So it sounds like you're right. That's exciting.
Yep.
Okay, that's all I've got.
I'm trying to think of anything that I can think of. Simona's and their GOAT tour. Yeah, if it's coming to a city near you, I think y'all should go check it out. Um,
Definitely. If you've never seen Simone Biles or any of these gymnasts you like, It's totally different seeing gymnastics in person, in my opinion, and I think it's a great experience. Obviously, it's super overpriced and expensive, but if you're able to go, I would say you should go because it's a great. It's not gonna. You're not gonna get this opportunity again.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Also, vote for Steven Narajic on Dancing with the Stars. I think he still is Dancing with the Stars. I don't think he has been voted out yet. Um, Yay, men's
did
gymnastics. I don't know.
Did you see that photo of Hesley Rivera, like greeting Joe Biden?
No.
No, you didn't see that? A small group of Olympians, including the only gymnasts that went, I think, were Hesley and Asher Hong and Li Li, the president of USA Gymnastics, went to the White House and they met Joe Biden and did some stuff there. But there's a really funny photo of Hesley and Joe, and someone posted on Twitter, like, I know Hesley's dad hates this. Ooh.
Oh my God. I would pay for that is okay. Okay. We have a meat and potato show that we going to get to, but damn it, we got topics. This is our season finale. Hesley Rivera. I really struggle with liking her as a gymnast because of her father. I'm so sorry. I'm going to admit it. I'm going to admit it. Her father, is it low again? Can you not hear me?
I was trying to flip my camera so I could show you the photo, but I don't think
Oh,
I can on Restream. Can you see this? Kind of?
just share the just share the screen and I'll post it.
I'm gonna send it to you. I'm on my phone.
Oh, okay. Post it in Twitter so I could just share the screen.
Post it, or can I just send it to you on Twitter?
That's what I meant to say. Oh, and everybody, part of season 2 is we're creating a group chat. So I think I'm gonna do it on Twitter and on so all the fans can come together, especially for this upcoming NCAA, and we can all, sit there and kiki and watch, Friday night heights together and Saturday afternoon gymnastics and on the rare occasions when they do it on Sunday too. I think it would be fun. And then what I hope to do for the NCAA is to organize a trip to nationals next year for everybody. I hope I if it's not next year, if it's not for NCAA nationals, maybe we could get it for elite nationals. I mean, it's the first year, so nationals shouldn't be that damn expensive next year,
No.
but it might be.
Let's go to NC2A. I don't need to see Elite. That's my vote.
Uh, why not? I like this. I think it would be so much fun because nationals, college nationals is fun, not by yourself, because it's just so focused on gymnastics that's not. Hold on. Okay, let me go back. Can you try to reshare it
Will
again?
you
Is it just
continue
what you
that?
just? Okay.
Yeah,
Can you try to
I'll share it
reshare?
now.
Okay.
Will you
Uh,
finish that thought? Why is gymnastics not fun, or NCAA is not fun to watch alone?
it's not that it's not fun to watch along. It's just that if you're gonna spend all of that money to go to Fort Worth, Texas, to watch gymnastics, Fort Worth, Texas is not Las Vegas. It's not Miami. It's not New York. It's not Atlanta. It's not Orlando. If you're going to Fort Worth, Texas to watch gymnastics, trust me, that's all you're going to Fort Worth, Texas is to do is to watch gymnastics. And it's in the middle of spring, so you better hope a tornado don't twirl up in the middle of Texas while you're watching gymnastics. But it's just not
That was totally my experience when I went to an elite meet in the suburbs of Chicago. That was
correct. Like
desolate
the one
and so boring.
the one time I went, it was with addicts, and because it was with addicts, we had fun. But going with myself, I could imagine that shit would be horrible. Like, cause especially like if you don't have the budget to do a lot, and that's not even shade. I don't think that's shade. Most people don't have a budget to do a lot. Like, especially this is the picture that Oscar wanted. We've been trying to get up, you guys. So if you
Did
don't
either
have a
of you have a
budget to
car?
do addicts had a friend who had a car,
That's helpful.
so it was
And that cuts a little bit of the cost, I would imagine, instead of
but we
taking
still had
Ubers or something.
Uber. Yeah, but we still had to Uber and Lyft a lot of places because she wanted to do her own thing too. Like you could just use her for
Oh,
everything,
okay.
but when she
I
went,
think
but
that
going
having
to
a
the
car would be really helpful in those situations if you're
it
considering it.
would, it would, but that's another expense that you have to think about. Like you
Oh
going
yeah,
to these
there's a lot.
going, going to these gymnastics meets, the NCAA, and especially because the NCAA isn't as bad as elite gymnastics, because elite gymnastics fell and bumped their fucking heads, bitch. But it's like going to a concert, but the concert is in the middle of nowhere. So unless like you have friends, and clearly for those out for while gymnastics is going on, it's fun. But like when you leave the arena and go back to your hotel room, you're gonna have to find something else to do, or you're gonna feel like you're. At least me, I would feel like I wasted my money if I went to go see gymnastics and for those 2 hours I had fun, but I was there for 3 days and I only had fun for 2 hours of my 3 days. Like I that's not a smart investment to me.
Wait, why are you there for 3 days if the gymnastics is only one?
For nationals, so you're going for um day one and then finals. Like it's like a lot.
Oh, so you're saying it's 2 hours per day.
Yeah.
Well, that's different than 1 2 hour period.
But hell, some people do go for the whole 2 days and they only go to finals.
I don't understand that. Like, no, no shame. I'm not shaming anyone. It's just not how I would feel. People who like going to when Brody went to nationals but didn't want to see the juniors or the men. I was like, what?
Like a lot of
I'm
people
here
do
for it
that.
all.
Like a lot of people do that, Oscar. Like a lot of people go to these gymnastics meets. Like poor lawyer. Poor lawyer went to the
Especially also the people who live somewhat nearby, so it's not such a big deal
yeah,
to get there.
okay, that's different. Like
That is different.
if they had a gymnastics meet in Tallahassee and I chose not to do everything, that's different because I didn't have to spend nothing to go there. But
No,
like
but you're
with
a gymnastics fan. A lot of people in the Chicago suburbs say, because it's like one of my only examples, were like had didn't care about gymnastics at all, but they were like, oh, it's happening in my town or something, or my like a few towns over. I'm gonna go see what it's about.
that was experience when we went to gymnastics in Texas. Like people didn't even know why people were in town.
People are asking me like, why did you come from New York?
People were asking like, "Why are you here from Florida? What's going on?" It was like the NCAA national championships in gymnastics, and they was like, "Really? That's going on this weekend?" I had no idea, and they were like, "They do it every year," and they was like, "Oh, shit, I didn't know." And I'm like, "Damn!" Like they do it literally every year in Fort Worth around the same time. Like, and y'all in the city don't even know about it. Like, that's how little the people in Fort Worth, Texas, gave a damn about the gymnastics that was going on. And the other weird part about it is, it seems like the gymnastics community kind of like it that way. It kind of, I don't know how to explain it. Like, again, if you go into gymnastics in person, yes, we go into the topic. At the top of the hour, we're switching over to the topic no matter where we're at. And I promise y'all
The
that.
top
But
of the hour? That's at 9?
no, at the top of the hours, when we get to 60 minutes into the show, I'm so sorry.
Perfect. Oh, okay. Keep going.
Um, the other thing that's weird about watching gymnastics in person, it's better to watch gymnastics in person, but just the crowd is so catered to children that as an adult, it kind of feels weird being there.
I, as a like a bit of a, I don't know. I don't know how I'm not gonna describe myself actually or try to, but I felt weird cheering because other people weren't, and because people were looking at me weird for cheering. Personally,
Correct. Like, if you're okay, so I imagine, okay, now going to the NCAA finals, it was a little bit different. People was a lot more turned up,
that's
but
good.
it wasn't everybody. A lot of people was just really like, gymnastics can be kind of like, the gymnastics fans, I should say, can kind of be kind of prudish, and
Definitely.
they're just like, sit down there, shut up, and watch gymnastics. Like, it's more like a art show to them. It's like they're watching an opera, whereas I'm watching a sporting event and I want to cheer and turn up. Whereas they're like,
I
don't
don't
make no noise.
know. Is that really how you think it is, though, that they're treating it like high art, or that they're like looking, they think it's weird that you are so into it? Because that's more how I feel. Like, this isn't for you. Why are you so into this?
I think it's more, from my experience now, from my personal experience, from what I gather, it was like, this is a piece of artwork that I'm watching, or I'm watching um like a like an opera, or I'm just here because it's pretty. I'm not here because of the sport. I'm not here because of the competition. I'm just looking at the little pretty girls flipping, basically.
Okay, interesting. A lot of the people I talked to had like so many didn't know basic stuff, and they like were asking me questions when it became clear I was a fan and stuff, that I was there alone because I like gymnastics. And they were, a lot of them were like, oh, like I'm here for my daughter or whatever, or because I live around here and like it's just something to do. If you watch any of my very first videos on my YouTube channel, are videos I filmed at elite competitions in 2023. And if you watch any of them, it's so cringe for me to watch them back. Like, I'm the only person yelling. I'm like screaming in the videos, "Let's go, Reese! Come on!" Like no one else is cheering.
It's very is I don't know how to explain it. It's just it's very different than what you may imagine a gymnastics competition may be. Like, you may think that gymnastics competition is like the way we watch it live on the internet, where everybody is cheering, everybody is screaming, everybody's going for their favorite person. It's not necessarily like that in person. It can be though if you go with the right group of people. Going by yourself, I can imagine that's very weird.
Yeah, having people around you who know you, who can back you up, would, I would imagine, would have made me feel a lot more comfortable.
Hesley Rivera and, oh, okay. Now going back to this, and then we're gonna move on. because it has the reverse dad, it's kind of hard for me to cheer for her as a gymnast. I can't even lie. Her father is just a MAGA right wing.
Oh, did Hesley commit?
Yeah, LSU.
LSU, right. I forgot, but thank you.
And it's just like, I should not feel this way about her because of her father. I shouldn't. It's just, I can't help it.
Well, he's like made himself known so well that like at this point, I'm sure for a lot of people, not like everyone, of course, people who've watched the Olympics. No, if you watch the Olympics on NBC, they showed him. So I feel like they're somewhat not synonymous, but they're definitely entangled. Like if you know one, you would know the other more so than other gymnasts and their parents, let's say. Like he is very comfortable inserting himself into her gymnastics, at least in terms of publicity.
Very, very,
And that is a bit of a red flag to me. And that's just how I feel.
very. Okay, so Oscar, can you please explain to the people what the actual topic is that we are going to
Yeah.
do for our season finale?
So I had this idea that sounded really fun to me. And I tried to tell it to Michaela. And it took a bit of time to understand. And when she was repeating back, trying to repeat back what I had, she also had her own version, something similar. So there's more than one version of this game that we can play, but the original version that I came up with was conceived when Michaela was really spending time looking at the 1980s gymnastics. And so I thought, what if we went through all of the world and
Pause.
Olympic competitions?
Can I pause you for 1 second, baby?
Yeah.
I'm going to be real messy right now. I'm going to be real messy. Well, I'm not going to be real messy. I'm going to actually put their name out there. But I'm going to say this. There's this gymnastics publication. There's this gymnastics publication that is constantly stealing my post. Now, it would be one thing if you stole a video that I posted, because I steal people videos all the time. I think that's one of the amazing things about the gymnastics community. Once a piece of gymnastics hits the internet, it's a free fall for everybody to use or whatever.
Now, not
And
everyone feels that way, but that's how
not
I feel.
everybody way. I don't feel I feel that way. And but what I don't like is when you basically steal my ideas verbatim and then try to quantify them as yours because you feel like. And all I'm going to sit up there and say is, it's very interesting that while wishing Dominique Luciano happy birthday, you
Oh
chose
yeah, it was a
to
big day for birthdays.
you chose to use the exact same that she retweeted from me. I would think that's very interesting. Any tweet, any. And then again, when I was doing my highlight of the 80s, that's when your ass just pop up and started posting 80s gymnastics content. I just think that's very weird. You can hire me. I would love the paycheck. I would make sure you get all the gymnastics content that you want to. But you ain't got to steal from me, sis. We sisters. That's how I feel. Continue,
How
friend.
would you feel? How would you feel if someone straight up, like, I don't know, just like reposted one of your opinion videos and didn't credit you? But obviously your name was all over it.
tell you the one thing. Me and Addicts had a show together called We Love Gymnastics, right? And the one
So
thing
was
that
was
really
Blunt Chat a separate show?
Blunt Chat was the original title of the show. But then
Oh,
we
my
was
bad.
like,
Okay.
we need to do something a little bit more friendly, a little bit more family friendly. So then we changed it to We Love Gymnastics. We was watching a German movie, right? And they hashtag We Love Gymnastics. Like they took credit for that title and every. I was so pissed off, man. Like, so yes, people have done it to me before.
But wouldn't it be different if they actually took like your thoughts and your image? Not just your thoughts, your image also. Because you were saying once a video hits the internet, it's free for all.
Oh yeah, no. It depends on what you do. Like, if it's like a routine that you can't find, but I have it, I wouldn't care. But if it was like a topic of okay, this is how I feel. This is what I do, and forgive me if I'm wrong. Like if it's a specific routine that you have that I can't find anywhere else from you, yeah, I'll take it. I don't give a fuck. But if you're using that routine like my top 6 Chinese gyms of all time, I would never do a my top 6 Chinese gyms of all time using those exact same gyms in that order. In my top 6 gymnasts, I would try to do the video differently so it wouldn't be the same video that you did.
Right. Okay. Well, I guess there's an element of respect to it. Like, how much do you care about respecting people's wishes, I guess? What do
But
you think
it's just,
about t
I'm so sorry,
sorry?
but it's just if I'm coming up with this, if I'm talking about something over here on my platform or my podcast or my Twitter page or whatever, it's just always this one gymnastics publication that chooses to talk about it at the exact same moment in time. And like I've noticed this shit for years, and it's just it's just annoying. It's just like, sis, hire me, girl. If I'm literally feeding you content, hire me, girl. Hire me. I would be the best spokesmodel for your brand.
Would you ever would you ever consider blocking them?
I don't feel that strongly about it to block them.
Okay. How do you feel about taking and reposting videos that are obviously home videos, like not done by any broadcasting? Is that fair game too? Like it doesn't exist anywhere else. But we can't see the routine anywhere else either. I'll say how I feel first. What you think? I think it's fine, and you deal with the repercussions as they come. If that happens, then it happens. But I think it's fair game.
Okay, this is how I feel about it. I do think it's fine. I don't mind because um,
Did you film any routines when you went to nationals? I filmed. I was like spending a lot of time filming when I went to meets.
mm, no, I didn't think about it that deep. I was more busy trying to take pictures with and take pictures of people. Like I didn't think that. Like I didn't. I didn't do the best. I wasn't the best blogger.
Well, it's not like either of us went to such a niche gymnastics competition. Like, I'm sure there was coverage from both of the meets we went to.
But like, I do know people do have issues when people do that to them,
Totally.
and I do understand. I
Your mic.
I do understand in 2024 that people also make a living and make money like off of the things that they post, so they don't want other people to repost the things that they post because they can make money off of it. It's just I just think I don't know. Like to me, I would be if like a certain gymnast be like, "Ooh, girl, can you please take this clip down? Like I fell and it did make me feel good." Now that
Oh
would be like,
wow.
okay,
Yeah, of
sure,
course I would do that.
but like
I hadn't even
you
considered that.
recording it, you recording it though is a thanks for your service. That's how I feel.
That's exactly how I feel. Although if someone
Anyways, I'm
it's
so
never
sorry,
happened to me,
friend.
I should say, let me just finish. I should say that no one has ever come contacted me and said you posted my video. Like, please take it down or something. I might consider doing it if they did.
Me either. Um, no, me either. It's just YouTube and their copyright strikes on every damn thing.
And a lot of people have like scary warnings in their video descriptions, like if you take this video and do something with it, I'm gonna get you. My lawyers are gonna get you.
Oh well.
So back to the
Oh the
game.
fuck
Back
well. Back to the game. So
to the game. The game is we're gonna do it possibly in segments. There could be more parts, but we're not promising anything. But let's still. What do you think about calling this part one potentially, of going
part
through
8.
each part 80s? Except we're not gonna look at 89. We're gonna go 1980 to 1988, looking at all of the Olympic Games and World Championships, and we're gonna look at the countries or the teams that were sent by 3 or 4 specific countries. We're gonna compare them all as briefly as we can and pick our favorite team that that country sent to a World or Olympics in those years. And I think the years we're discussing today are 1980 to 1988.
Correct. Well, we should
I
go.
hope that
Okay.
made sense.
Yes, that makes complete sense. But my question is, my one question is, how are we gonna go for the Americans for the '80s? We're gonna pick the team. Well, they did pick a team. They just didn't compete, but they did pick a team. Okay, we can do it.
I think we'll just use those teams,
Okay.
even if they weren't competing. Because I think there's a 1984 Soviet team. Or will we
Oh
just
yeah,
choose the friendship team, the Olomouc team?
yeah. Let's just use the Olympic team because I'm pretty sure that's the team they would have sent to the Olympics that year.
Okay, great. So then we start and the teams that we were considering looking at and choosing from were definitely the Soviet Union. We mentioned the United States. I'm curious to look at Romania. And then I thought possibly China, even though that's the one of those four, that's the one I would know the least about. And I thought that it was worth mentioning that East Germany and Bulgaria were just as strong as the United States in many regards at certain competitions.
Yeah, in the '80s, it was really the Soviets had everything on lock. The Romanians had periods where they were very close,
Well,
but
they
in
won
reality, they
1987.
weren't. yes, but just through that whole generation, they weren't that close. They were solidly in second, but they weren't that close to the Soviets, in my opinion.
We'll talk about 1987
Then
and
you had,
why the Romanians were able to beat the Soviets when we get there.
correct, and then you had the East Germans, who probably were the third best team in the '80s. But then sometimes you would have Bulgaria. Um, so you had that going on. And then solidly somewhere in fifth, sixth place.
So we'll start at
So how do you want
1980.
to go? So
If
we're
we
going
see any other
to
teams that might be relevant, we can mention those too. But let's definitely start with Soviet Union, Romania, and USA, and maybe China. So we'll
for
start
sure,
in Moscow, 1980.
and maybe let's do it in Romania.
Okay, great. Okay. Should we make a game within a game? How many of the gymnasts can you name?
No, because I would definitely lose. I would definitely lose.
1980.
'Cause I
We know Nadia was
oh
there.
shit.
We know that Eberle was there. Emily Eberle. We know that I think
Yes.
Christina Grigoras was there, but she might have been 84. And I don't think I can think of anyone else, even though I might be able to think of them once, or I might be like, oh, of course, once I'm looking at it right now. Is that okay? Okay, the Romanian team at the 1980 Olympics was Nadia Comaneci, Rodica Donka. Um, you want me to read it like this instead of sharing the page or something?
We can share the page. I guess that would be easier for you, and you can read it.
Okay. Is it, are you able to share the page or would you like me to?
Where are you getting the information from?
Wikipedia.
Let me look.
Nadia Comaneci, Rodica Donka, Emilia Eberle, Christina Grigoras, Melita Rune. Oh, forgot about her. She was a great gymnast. And someone I've never heard of named Dimitrita Turner. So of those gymnasts, I have heard of 4 out of the 6, which is pretty good.
So that was their 1980s Olympic Games team. Um, they had Nadia Comaneci, and they had
Would it be helpful to tell you what other medals they won at that games quickly?
I'm sure you
Uh,
can.
Nadia Nadia won gold on beam. Nadia won gold on floor. Um, Emilia Eberle won a silver on bars. Melita Rune won a bronze on bars, and Melita Rune won a bronze on vault. So 2 golds, or it depends how you count. But they medaled in every single event at least once.
Okay.
Ready to move on to 1981?
Yes.
Okay. 1981 World Championships were also held in Moscow, even though they were originally supposed to be held in Mexico City, but financial difficulties caused Mexico to withdraw as hosts in March of that year. And they took place in November. This was not a good year for Romania as a team. In the team competition, they placed fourth after placing second at 1980 behind the Soviet Union. So in fourth place, the team was, who were the return? Okay, they had returning Rodica Dunca also was on this team. Christina Grigoras was also on this team. Emilia Eberle was also on this team, and Dumitrita Turner was also on the team. The new additions were Lavinia Agache and Mihaela Stanulet. The individually, they did not win a single medal. Can you believe that?
Wow.
That's kind of unbelievable to me. Let's see. They had 5th, 6th, and 7th in the all-arounds. They were 5th in the vault final, 5th and 7th in the bars final, 8th in the beam final, and 5th in the floor final. They just were not good enough or something. Interesting.
But we have to remember after 1981, that's when Bella and they were Bella defected, Nadia retired, in shambles. But they got it together by the time 1982 came around. Because there was no World
Is that
Championships in 1982.
exactly right? Because I'm remembering now that Nadia was still competing in 1981, and she was actually she made the team or was in position to make the team, and she refused to go because she didn't want to compete back in the USSR or Moscow where the Olympics had been held.
And
So
that's what I'm
let me
saying.
just
Because
double check. It just says in 1981. So I don't know if it was before or after Worlds that the Carolis defected to Houston.
it was definitely before, because we watched the 1981 World Championships together a couple of weeks ago, Oscar. And they interviewed Bella Coroni and was like talking to him about his new life in Houston, Texas. We saw this happen, Oscar.
My bad. Okay, 1983. Are you ready?
Yes.
83 Worlds were held in Budapest, Hungary, and the Romanians were able to reclaim their silver medal in the team competition. They had, okay, the only gymnast who made all three of these teams so far is the one I've never heard of. Her name is Mihaela Stanulet. Or maybe she didn't make 1980, but she was definitely on the 81 world team. And all the rest of the girls look new. So we have, or Lavinia Agache was also in 1981, but not 1980. She's on this team. Mirella Barbalata, Laura Kutina, Simona Renciu, and Ekaterina Zabo, who to me is the most famous of all of them. So Zabo ends up coming in third place in the all-around final. On vaults, we have two Romanians tied for the silver medal, Lavinia Agache and Zabo. Zabo also tied for a silver medal with her teammate on bars with Agache. The two of them tied on vault and bars for silvers. They both won silvers. On beam, Lavinia won the bronze, Agache. And on floor, Ekaterina Zabo became the world champion with a perfect 10.0, even though she stepped out of bounds. If you remember, you remember. So I think they medaled on every single event again. just like in 1980. So a good comeback. Now, you ready for the Olympics?
Yes.
Great.
And already by this list, I already know I know what year Romania had their best team, but go ahead.
Of those three, I would say it's 1980, right?
Out of those years, it's going to be 1980, but out of the game that we're playing, it's going to be 1987.
Ah, no, you can't spoil it. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so 1984 Summer Olympics held in Los Angeles at Poly Pavilion, UCLA. We have. So which teams boycotted, just so we can know? The Soviet Union, Bulgaria, Cuba, Czechoslovakia, East Germany, Hungary, and North Korea. This was the first time the Romanians had captured the gold medal in the team competition at the Olympic Games.
Wait, you know what? Now having this conversation, that really helps me understand a lot about the Olympics because it wasn't just because we always talk about the Soviets wasn't there, the Soviets wasn't there, the Soviets wasn't there. The East Germans weren't there, and Bulgaria wasn't there. That means nobody was there but the
And
Romanians. That was
honestly, the Czechs were really strong because this was when Hanna Rična was like at her prime. So
so
don't
that's
count
like
them out either.
that would be like if currently right now, that helps put this 1984 Olympic Games into a lot of perspective to me. That would be if at in 2024, if America boycotted that Olympics and Brazil and Italy and Canada for the lesser mark. And then France came around talking about some, we're the Olympic champions. And you'd be like, yeah, bitch, because nobody was there. Like, yeah. Like, ooh, ooh.
No, it would it be? It would be like we're the Olympic champions. No, it would be like, well, it's in the USA, and the Americans finished second. So it'd be like if the French finished second, and who would win? Sorry.
The Italians, because nobody else was there.
I'm trying to think of another team who had been around for a long time and had been denied the top spot, you know?
Oh, okay.
There might not be a perfect equivalent, but those are like newer teams, you know?
Yeah, because it would have been the Russians, but the Russians won their last Olympics.
No, but that's a good example. Okay, so these 1984 Olympics were very good for Romania as well. Although, yeah, I'll get to that.
Because nobody else was
They,
there. But
well,
like for
they
the
weren't
Romanians,
able to, yeah, sorry.
I mean, other than them being robbed of the title, I mean, nobody else was there. Like, I mean, yay the Americans. The Americans probably sent a great team, and they celebrate their championships with every. But I mean, the asterisk when you put it in that, like, it's just one thing to say that okay, the Soviets wasn't there because you'd be like, okay, well at least they beat this team and that team, but other than the Romanians, the Chinese weren't what the Chinese now. So I mean, them beating the Chinese, the Americans should have beat the Chinese easily, anyways. Like, I mean,
I have a good question. A question I think is good that I'm gonna ask you, but I'm gonna save it until we go through, at least go through the Romanians at Olomouc. Okay?
okay,
So Romania captured the team all-around gold. Szabo was denied the individual all-around gold. She won silver. Her teammate Simona Pauca won the bronze in the all-arounds. Zabo is the vault champion, and Lavinia Agache, who was on the 81 and 83 team, she gets the bronze on vault. Uneven bars, Romania does not medal, which could, depending on what you're prioritizing, put them below the 83 or 81 team. Or no, it was 80 and 83, where Romania won a medal in every event, at least one. So balance beam,
Wait, who won the
Romania
80?
has.
I'm so
Sorry,
sorry. Was the 1984 uneven bar champion Julie McNamara?
it was a tie. She was one of the co-champions. But we'll get to her. We'll get to her.
I, you know, everybody talk about Mary Lou and her gold. You know, you forget that another American won a gold medal at that Olympic Games too.
Thank you very much. And didn't she? No, that's not correct. But yes, thank you very much. So balance beam Romania had two co-champions. Simona Paucha and Zabo shared gold on the beam. On floor exercise, Zabo defended her world title and won gold on floor. So okay, of the 4 event finals, Zabo won gold on 3, and then Paucha also shared gold on beam. So 4 gold medals plus their team gold medal. Very fruitful games, I would say, for the Romanians. Now let's get to the 1984 Friendship Games in Olomouc,
Oh,
Czechoslovakia.
Romania
Oh
sent
no,
it
they
to
didn't. I'm sorry, I wasn't thinking straight. Okay, let me ask you my question now. In your minds, I have my answer, but I want to hear from you first. If there's going to be a singular official 1984 Olympic Games, were they held in Los Angeles or in Olomouc?
Los Angeles because the Olympics was scheduled to be in Los Angeles anyway.
No, that's not. You think after all you said about how good those missing teams were, that those are real Olympics?
Oh, wait. I'm so sorry. I misunderstood the question. I misunderstood. So
Maybe
you're
you did it.
saying
I mean, if you feel how you feel, stand on it. But I'm saying if you only can consider one of those as the official 1984 Olympics, which one is it?
you're saying that between
I
the
just got so heated.
actual Olympic Games that actual happened and the Olamo, which is the real Olympics of that year, is
Yeah,
Olamo.
for the fans, for the history books, the
It's Olamo.
archives.
It's
It has
absolutely
to be
Olamo.
Olomouc. The 1984 Olympics took place in Olomouc.
Absolutely. Like, I'm so sorry to. I'm an American. I'm so sorry to Mary Ray and to Kathy Johnson, to all the people that I love. That was not no damn real Olympic Games, child. That was some bullshit. Because no Tito Shade, no Tito Shade, none of y'all should have no Olympic medals. Like, no Tito Shade, none of y'all, all of y'all should be like, went to Los Angeles and I'm so proud of myself that I made beam finals. And that should be your accomplishment, Kathy Johnson, that you made beam
Or just I got to compete in front of my family or something like that.
Yeah. This is the other shady question, though. If it was not for the boycott, I don't think a lot of those girls would have hung on as long as they would have.
Okay, let's name names. We're talking about gymnasts who were competing in 1984 were not able to. Are you talking about gymnasts who competed in Los Angeles or competed in Olomouc?
No, gymnasts who competed in Los Angeles, who their real Olympics, which was 1980, which
Oh,
the
okay.
Americans had a real good shot of a team medal in 1980.
So like Julianne and Kathy Johnson.
Julianne, Kathy Johnson, Tracy Talavera. I don't think all of those girls would have tried to hang on if not for them knowing that all of those Soviet teams would have then boycotted their Olympics.
Okay, I'm looking at Tracy Talavera's Wikipedia page because I'm not very familiar with her career or her gymnastics. And
Tracy
something
Talavera,
that catches my eye is it says Talavera was awarded a spot. She was third at World Team Trials in 1978. And then in 1979, she was awarded a spot on the 1979 World Championships team. But at age 12 and a half, she was well below the minimum age requirement of 14 and was deemed ineligible to compete. How does that make, how would they pick someone they know is too young? What type of shenanigans?
they were trying to pull it, but they realized they couldn't, so they just admitted to it. It was like, oh, we tried. They were trying to
Okay.
pull it for age.
So I'm trying to find out if she was, I didn't know that she was age eligible for Moscow in 1980. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, she was on the team.
Okay, I forgot about that.
Yeah, well, while you're there, go to Wikipedia. We might as well just do them. Oh no, we're still on the Soviets. We just because we stopped at what? No, we're still on the Romanians since we stopped at 84. Okay, yeah, I'm so sorry.
We're
We still
on
got
1985 Worlds. Are you ready?
yeah, because we still got three more Romanian teams to go. Then we can do the Americans.
Sounds good. Okay, so in 1985, the Worlds were held in Montreal, Canada. And basically, the Romanians again finished second now that the Soviet Union was back in the competition. The team consisted of Laura Kutina, who was definitely on one of the previous teams, Eugenia Golia, who is a new name, Celestina Popa, who is a new name, Daniela Silavash, who's a new name, Ekaterina Szabo, who was the star of the 1984 Olympics and was at 1983 Worlds, and Camelia Voynier, who is a new name for the team. In the individual all-around, they missed medaling. In vault, Szabo was able to secure a silver medal. No medal on the uneven bars
Wait,
either.
Silavash didn't come in third place in 1985.
In the all-around, definitely not. I'm trying to see if she even made the all-around. She finished in seventh place. She counted 9.625 on bars. She was like 3/10 behind Shushnova Lianchik in from prelims.
Who came
Where
in
was she in
third?
prelims? In the Dagmar Kirsten from GDR, East Germany.
Wow, I would have never. You you couldn't have paid me. I would have bet $1 million that Daniela Silavash came in third place in 1985. Like
Do you want to guess quickly how many medals the country of East Germany won at those Worlds? Or should we wait in
was
case we
Matt
want to include them?
still on that team in that year, 85?
Who would you say, Max Signal?
Maxi, not the not.
Okay, I'm glad you brought her up because I thought that I would have said yes, but I don't see her here. Let me just see when she retired. I thought that that was her last competition, but it might have been 85 Europeans was her last. Maxi's last competition was 1985 Europeans. She didn't go to Worlds. Let's see why. Um,
Maybe she was hurt.
yeah, I'm not certain why, but she didn't go to Worlds that year. But anyway, do you want to make a guess about how many medals East Germany won, or should we save them to do a whole look at their team throughout the decade at the end?
Yeah, let's save them at the end because it's either going to be East German or Bulgaria. I can't tell which ones were more successful that quad.
But they were pretty successful here, I would say. Okay, so no medal for Romania on bars in 1985, but on the balance beam, they got the gold and silver medal. Silavos was the world champion, and Szabo was the silver medalist. Again, Romania did not medal on floor. So that's 3 events, no medals for Romania, which is the worst. If you look at it through that perspective, they hadn't done that since 1981. Okay, 1987. Worlds were held in Rotterdam, Netherlands. Romania, for the first time in the federation's history, became the team world all-around champions. And the Soviet Union was there.
Yep.
So the team consisted of veterans Daniela Silavas, Ekaterina Szabo. This was her last world competition. Camelia Voynier made the team again, as well as Eugenia Golia and Celestina Popa. The only new name was Aurelia Dobre, who would go on to become the individual all-around world champion. Silavas was able to secure the bronze medal in the all-arounds. On the vault, Romania medaled twice. Eugenia Golia won the silver medal, and Aurelia Dobre won the bronze. On the uneven bars, Daniela Silavas was a co-world champion. On the balance beam, Aurelia Dobre was the world champion and Szabo won the bronze medal. And on the floor exercise, Silavas was the co-world champion and Dobre won the bronze medal. So, okay, very impressive. That's my first thought. They almost medaled
Let
twice
me
in each event, but
let me
they
say
didn't.
something about that damn Joe Grant was that girl, man. If she was not hurt in 1988, I don't see it for no other girl. That whole battle between Silavage and Shushanova would have not went down because Dobro would have beat both of them girls very easily.
Okay,
Dobro
but
was
what do you think about if the Soviets knew for a fact that Dobre was hurt leading up to the Olympics? Do you think it's possible that they would have felt pressured for a top gymnast like Shushanova to throw her harder tricks, her full in off beam, her double twisting Yurchenko, things like that, her double layout on floor?
but honestly, Shushanova double twisting the chin was ass. It was horrible. Like so,
But it was just as good as, I think it could have gotten a 10, the way other vaults would have gotten a 10. Although I don't think any DTYs got 10s at those Olympics.
I don't think so either. I don't think they were deserved. They weren't. They were very thrown.
We haven't even got, the only person I can think of, it might be Melita. Was Melita Rune on that team, or was it Romania had a vaulter who did the DTY right after Svetlana Baitova from the Soviet Union, and she didn't get it named after her because of that.
Mm.
I think I'm thinking of Eugenia Golia, and she the highest vault score for Romania was a 9975 from Podorak. But we're jumping ahead.
And to me, that is the best Romanian team.
I'm trying to explain. So it's very impressive. Out of the 2 medals that Romania could win, they won 2 in the all arounds, 2 on vault, 1, but they were the world champion on bars, 2 on balance beam, and they were the world champion, 2 on floor, and they were the world champion, and they were the world champion in the all around. Like, bitch, vault was the only thing where they didn't win gold, but they
And
still won 2 medals.
and the Soviets were here,
And the
and
Soviets were here.
and the Soviets didn't send like a Bush enough
Well,
team.
well, we'll get to that because I have something that I've talked to you before about, but this the selection procedures for this Soviet team are unique. They were not used for any other teams in the squad or the whole decade, in fact.
And they never did it again because it was like, damn, damn.
Exactly. So we'll finish it off for Romania with the Seoul Olympics, which were held in Korea, South Korea. Um, Hang on a second. Okay. So Romania finishes second to the Soviet team in the team competition. This is the first fully attended Olympic Games since Montreal in 1976.
Yes.
Daniela Silivas improves her bronze medal from 87 and gets a silver in the all around. Um, on vault, two medals for Romania, Podorak, Gabriela Potorak. Oh, I didn't give the whole team. Sorry. Quickly, Aurelia Dobre is back. Eugenia Golia is back. Celestina Popa is back. Gabriela Potorak is new. Silvas and Voinea are returning. Podorak gets silver on vault somehow, on even though she's injured. And oh no, that's Dobre. Podorak gets her silver on vault. I think she even throws a DTY. Silvas gets a bronze medal on vault. Silvas is the Olympic champion on bars. She's the
The
Olympic champion on beam, but Podorak gets a bronze on beam, and she is also the Olympic champion on floor. And thus, she is the most successful gymnast of the games, I would say, right?
Shushinova gold in the team, gold in the all around.
She
She
fell on
missed
her
all
DTY.
silver on bars,
Yes.
silver on beam,
I'm sorry, she won a bronze on bars and a silver on beam.
and didn't medal on floor.
No, she made at least one big error. So that's individually, she won one gold, one silver, and one bronze. And individually, Silvas won one silver, one bronze, and three golds.
Ah,
Okay, that was fun. You ready to go for the Americans? That's your next team?
yes.
Excellent. Okay, so yeah, this is a weird place to start for the Americans. They did not compete at the Olympics, nor did they have an alternative games that we're going to mention here or
Well,
look at. We're not going
but
to
no,
look at those results, are we?
no, we're not. But I do have a question. I do have a question. Do you think the Americans not because I'm not sure what other teams boycotted with the Americans. I'm pretty sure it was like the Canadians and some other teams. Do you feel like the Americans not being there in 1980 had the same effects on that games as those Soviet teams not being there in 1984?
Okay, the teams or the countries that boycotted, the teams missing were the United States, Canada, China, Japan, South Korea, and West Germany. I think that they were missed less than the Soviets and those other Eastern Bloc countries were missed in 84.
Now, I do think in 1980 the Americans and maybe the Chinese had individual potentials on certain events, like maybe Marshall Frederick
Certainly.
could have did a little something on high bar. Maybe Julianne could have did a little something on bars.
Maybe Kathy could have qualified to the floor final. I don't know.
Maybe Kathy probably would have qualified through four and being finals actually.
Right. Let me look at 1979 Worlds to see which Americans and Chinese made finals. China was fourth as a team in 1979. No Chinese or Americans in the top 10 in the all-around. 2 Americans made the vault final, Krista Canary and Susie Kellems. I hope I'm saying those right. Marcia Frederick was 6th in the bars final. The Chinese had they were co-world champion Ma Yanhong on the bars. So
Okay.
she definitely would have been in the hunt for that medal, or that gold even. They also had a second qualifier on bars, but she finished 8th, Zhu Zhang. For beam, no Chinese and no Americans. And on floor, Zhang Sihua was 7th from China, and Leslie Pfeiffer was 8th from the USA.
Okay.
So basically, I think Julianne must have turned senior the following year, maybe, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So I don't really know about her, but definitely Marcia won hers in 78, right? Her gold medal. And obviously Ma Yanhong winning gold here. So those are the names I would look for. And I think there'd be a lot more names for 84 if you went the other way than
Oh
just
yeah.
those 3. Right.
Like,
So
like oh, Mary Lou would have had so many from all 3 Soviet girls who would have made the all around finals. It wasn't 2 back then, it was 3. So she probably,
exactly. Zaba would have been a cute 4th, I feel like, and she would be 5th.
I mean, no, Zabo would have had to really turn up. And she could have. Zabo used to fight in the damn Romanian, them damn
Do you think
Soviet.
they would have not given, because she got a shitload of 10s, I thought. So do you think she wouldn't have gotten as many 10s if everyone was there?
No.
That's interesting. Can you explain why, or is that just a feeling? Like, I have the same feeling, but I'm not sure I could explain why.
To me, Zabo was the class of this meet. So whatever Zabo was doing, it was considered. It was. I mean, no tea, no shade, Mary Lou Retton, but Zabo
She
was the
was the
class.
standard. Okay, is that what you're saying?
Correct. Whereas if the Soviets was there, she would have not been the standard. She would have been another girl trying to match the standards of whoever the Soviets would have sent to this damn Olympic Games. And it would have been a shit show. Like no tea, no shade. One day we need to do this game. This is just me doing it off the top of my head. But one day, season 2, maybe this might be the premiere of season 2. How do we think would have happened in 1984 if it would have been fully attended?
That's a great idea. I'll write it down.
Because it's not just the Soviets. It's not just what's the girl name who won Alamo?
She's a Soviet. Mastepanova won the indoor.
It's not just Mastepanova. It's not just what's her face probably would have been on the main team in 1984 too.
The 1984 team was like Shushinova was there. Yurchenko was there. She was the reigning world champion.
Yurchenko.
She said no, Zabo. She beat her.
Maybe Shushinova would have stuck around.
Shushinova, I think she was 3rd in the all-arounds. And I think they had Irina Baraksanova, Natalia Ilyenko, Tatiana or Natalia Frolova. I think that's who it was.
It would have been a bloodbath to even make that damn 1984 team. But then when you made that 1984, whoever those 3 girls would have made, who would have made it all around, and look, because you have Mastepanova, Shushinova, Yurchenko, and Shushinova, and Shushinova. No, what is the
Shushinova, Mastepanova, Yurchenko. Who are you thinking of?
Shaposhnikova.
She was retired.
She might have held on.
Maybe, but I think she retired like in 81 or something. Someone who didn't make the team Olga Bicherova, who was still competing, and she was the world all-around champion in 81 and on the 83 team, 83 European all-around champion. Yeah. I realized I never gave my favorite Romanian team, and I think it's smart to do it as we go through each team. So you gave yours was 87, right?
Mhm.
I think, and it's why is it? Can you explain it a little bit? Because I don't think every time that I pick my team, it's not going to be like just one thing. It might be different reasoning each time.
It was their best constructed team. It had superstars. It had Dobre at her peak. It had Silavash at her peak. It was the best team that Romania probably has ever put together. And when we do the when we do the 90s, I would put this their 1987 team against most of their 90s team.
Off the top of your head, I was having a hard time. Told you like off the top of my head who my other favorite teams are, but what's your favorite team for Romania from the 90s?
90.
Like they were so dominant in the 94 and 95, but I didn't like I wasn't obsessed with the individuals as much as I was later.
I was. And it
Can
was
you
not
name all the 94 teammates?
maybe not 94, but probably 95. Those were seven people teams. Let me see. Gina Goshian, Milosevic, Almanar, uh, Marinescu.
You're missing. You need three more.
You know, oh,
My
I see her
word.
face.
I,
Oh, I see her face. Oh gosh, she's short. She has dark hair. She has a little tiny ponytail. Um,
the one of these three that I know the best, I'll give you a hint. She did not make. I don't think she was in Atlanta, but she ended up going to the Olympics.
oh, Claudia Pradicon.
Pressicon, yeah.
Claudia Pressicon was on that.
She,
Wow.
I think she broke her hands before the
Yeah, look,
'96 Olympics.
injuries in 1996. Like again, they're a team. A-licious. They're another team that if they
Delicious.
were at their full strength, I don't think the Americans would have been the 1996 Olympic champions. But
Right,
that's
because they were dominating all those team competitions.
like
That was a tangent. The other two
um,
names were, or do you want to keep guessing?
I know one
Uh,
of the girls. I know her first name is 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 Adriana. I don't know, and her last name started with the M, but I can't.
there's an Andrea and there's a Nadia.
Nadia Prosakov was on this team. I mean, Nadia. Hold on, Nadia. Oh gosh, Nadia.
I'll be impressed because I really am not familiar with these girls.
No, I do know her. I do know her name. Know her name. Is Nadia.
Okay, here's another clue. One of the gymnasts won bronze medal on the uneven bars in 1993.
Yes, and that's Nadia. And it's
No, it's
Nadia.
not. It's not. It's Andrea. It's
Really?
confused. That's Andrea. Let's see if Nadia's won an
Okay, what's
individual.
Andrea's last name? I can't think of it, but it starts with the M.
It looks like it's Kakovian. Kakovan. Andrea Kakovian. Kakovian.
Yeah,
Cacovean.
I would have never remembered that shit in a long time. But Nadia is Nadia because Nadia did this really weird double front off of bars. I remember her. Nadia.
Nadia was on the here Nadia was on the 94 world team where she won gold with the team, but Claudia or whoever Kokovian, Andrea was not.
She wasn't old enough. Um,
Nadia was also at the European Championships in 1992. She was the junior team champion, and 1993 she was the junior uneven bars champion.
I give up. What's the girl name?
It looks like it's Nadia Hattigan. Hattigan.
Yeah, never was gonna remember that.
Well, I'm still impressed with how many you could come up with.
Nadia. Okay.
Okay. So that all started because I was trying to get my best team at, I think I just made a big fuss about nothing. I'm going to pick 87 as well because I tried to make it clear how many medals they won, how many finalists they had, how many gymnasts on the podium. It just seemed very unmatched compared to all the other teams that we looked at. Okay, so now we start in 1980. The Olympic team was, now it's possible one of these names is an alternate, and I'm not sure which one. So we have Lucy Collins, Marcia Frederick, Kathy Johnson, Beth Klein, Amy Koopman, Julianne McNamara, and Tracy Talavera.
It was either, I think, what was the Tracy Tuchman?
Amy Koopman?
I think she was the alternate.
Okay, I'm definitely not familiar with her.
I think all the other 6 girls was the main team.
So it's kind of unfair. This is going to be the only team, I think, besides if we do like China or whatever, where we don't have a results to look at for that team, you know? We're just going off of the vibes, like their names, what we know about them.
They had a competition.
So should we look at results though?
At least trials.
To compare them to the other US teams, you know?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay. What do you want me to pull up? 1980 US trials?
I don't know what their competition was, and I don't know. I I don't believe whatever. Yeah, 80 trials is fine. 80 trials is fine.
I can't remember what the substitute competition was. I think it was
They sent
it
them
was
girls to American Games, bitch, and it was like, bitch, you wanted to go to a games, bitch. It's not Olympics, bitch. It's Pan American. Bitch, suck it up and compete. Let the Cubans slay y'all pussies.
fun fact, Kathy Johnson placed second overall at the 1980 Olympic trials, and she was named team captain of the American team.
Aww. She made team captain to both of her Olympic teams. Yay, Kathy Johnson.
Remind me why she didn't make 76?
I think she just started doing gymnastics the year before. Kathy has a very strong um, her interest into gymnastics. Like she just started so late.
She started when she was 12, she said. Okay, what I'm able to find, we have, I don't even know like what information to pick out to share. So I guess I'll just do the all around ranking.
Okay.
Okay, 12th place, Lynn Lederer. 11th place, Sharon Shapiro. Oh, this really isn't very helpful, sorry. Should I give the gaps also? Yeah, I'll do their scores. Starting from 10th place, Kelly Garrison, who did not. Kelly Garrison, she was there?
She did, wow. And she didn't finally make her race herself. Wow.
Kelly Garrison, we will get to her in 1988 at least. Maybe she made a world team also, but she went to the 1988 Olympics. That's crazy that she was around for that many quads. 3 quads, right? At least. Okay. Kelly Garrison. Her high score on optionals was a 9.4 on the beam. That was her best score.
Kelly Garrison made the 80. Why don't you just do the girls that made the 84 team? I mean, the 80 team.
Sorry. Okay, I will. I was just giving you a picture. I can't even remember. Okay, so Kelly's there. I think I read Kelly's name and my brain thought she was on the team because I know her name. Okay, I guess it goes Kelly's in 10th, then we jump up to 6th. Julianne McNamara is 6th best. It looks like they had 1 day of compulsories and 1 day of optionals. So you only have 1 shot at your optionals. Julianne's getting an 8.95 on vault, but then a 9.8 on bars in optionals. Her optional or her all around total was 75.45. That's almost a point or 8 tenths above Kelly. And tied in 6th place with Julianne is Beth Klein. Beth's high scores were 9.65s on beam and floor, 75.45. Amy Koopman, 5th place. Her best score was 9.75 on vaults, and she got a 75.8. At 76.1 in 4th place is Lucy Collins. Her best score was on vault with a 9.75 as well. In 3rd place, 76.150 is Marcia Frederick. Her best score was a 9.9 on bars.
Wow.
76.550, second place is Kathy Johnson. So she was in second by quite a bit. It wasn't very close. She got a 9.8 on her vault. First place, 76.950, Tracy Talavera. Her top score was 9.8 on both bars and beam. So the highest compulsory total for any of the gymnasts, it was tied between Tracy and Kathy. They both got 38.85s. Let's see where that would be in the 1980 Olympics. In the all-around final, a 38.95 in the optionals would have them in 6th place. That's what Nellie Kim and Steffi Craker from GDR scored.
Oh, wow, that's not bad.
6th place, yes. But that's without compulsories, you know? And I think that the girls were not as strong on compulsories. Okay, that took longer than I meant for it to. Sorry. So can we move on to 1981 Worlds?
Sure.
Okay. 1981 World Gymnastics Championships held in Moscow. The U.S. placed 6th with their team. They had Julianne McNamara was back, Kathy Johnson was back, Tracy Talavera was back, Amy Koopman was back, but then they had two new girls. They had Michelle Goodwin and Gina Stallone. Neither of them made any event finals. You have in the all-around, Julianne was the top all-arounder. She was 7th. In the vault final, the Americans did not qualify. Julianne shared the bronze medal on the uneven bars.
Yes.
Tracy Talavera shared the bronze on the balance beam, and Julianne was 5th, controversially.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the floor final, Julianne was 7th, so she made 3 finals, which was the best for any American at that championships.
Yes.
Moving on, 1983, the Worlds were in Budapest. And the Americans, I don't know what the Americans' T was because Wikipedia is only showing me the top 4 teams. So the team final might have been only 4 teams. America's not in those top 4. The top American in the all-around was Kathy Johnson in 11th place. Julianne made the vault final and was 6th. Julianne also made the bars final and was 7th.
She must have had a mistake or something.
No Americans in the beam final. And Kathy Johnson finished 8th in the floor final. Okay. 84 Olympics. This is the US's fake breakout year.
They did better at this one competition than they have ever done in their entire career internationally.
Have you watched the team final from this Olympics?
Yes.
Was it close? Could the Americans have beaten Romania?
Sure, the judges kept giving them better scores than they've ever gotten in their lives. Sure.
Right, with the way the scoring was going. You think so? They ended up finishing 392.2 to 391.2, 1 point behind. And then the difference between second and third was 391.2 to 388.6. So they were like on their tails somewhat. Okay. The USA won the silver medal on the team. Mary Lou Retton became the Olympic all-around champion. Mary Lou Retton won silver on vaults. The USA medaled twice on bars. Julianne was the co-Olympic champion. Mary Lou won the bronze. Kathy Johnson won the bronze on beam. And on floor, Julianne McNamara won the silver medal, and Mary Lou Retton won the bronze medal. So they medaled in every event except for... Nope, they medaled in every event, at least once.
Even floor?
Yeah, they medaled twice on floor. Julianne won the silver. Julianne and Mary Lou.
Wow.
In compulsory, Szabo, who won, scored a 10. And in the optionals, Julianne scored a 10. So going into prelims, Szabo was leading her by 1/4 of a tenth. And then in the final, Julianne and Szabo both scored perfect 10s. Okay. Anything else to add or on to 1985?
That's still their best team that they've picked thus far.
Definitely. I want to just make it clear, if there's ever a situation where you feel like a team should be ranked higher because you just, for like, let's say personal or emotionally, you favor one gymnast, that's valid. Okay?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, good. I just want to make it clear for you and those watching. Like, if your favorite gymnast is on this team that didn't win any medals, that can be your favorite team.
Yeah. Don't worry.
Okay.
That's 84. I mean,
moving forward. In the 85 world.
Because the Americans still was sucky to squad. Go ahead.
Yeah, again, they were not in the top 4 teams, so I don't know how they placed as a team. At least I'm not going to look it up right now is what I mean. Sorry. So the top American, get this, in 1985. It keeps going down. Yes, but they had Julianne was 7th, then Kathy Johnson was 11th. Now Sabrina Marr is 14th. Hi, Brody.
Hi, Brody. But you know what? let me defend that 14th place.
I love Serena Mar, so it's nothing against her.
Again, it's not like it is in today where there's only 24 gymnasts that make the all-around finals. Back in those days, I think it was 36 gymnasts.
Yeah.
So if you're 14th place, you're still beating. Like
you're still
15.
in the top half. You're beating 22 people, 21 people.
So you're still in the top half of the people in the world. So that's not. And it's 3 people per team qualifying. So you're gonna fucking fight 3 fucking Soviet gymnasts, not just 2, and 3 Romanian gymnasts, not just 2. That's not a bad result.
And at this competition, 4th and 5th place, as well as 13th place, was East Germany, and Hanna Richna was 8th, and another Czech gymnast was 10th. So those were the main powers there. Bulgaria was 11th and 12th in the all-around. So different competition back then. So in the vault final, Sabrina Mar finished 6th. In the bars final, there were no Americans. There were no Americans in the beam final either. And okay, Sabrina Mar was that girl. She was the only event qualifier, event finalist for the USA.
Yeah.
Okay, 1987. We're back in Rotterdam.
Was another bad year for the Americans.
Another bad year. I'm like, that's all we've had so far, a bad year.
We got a bright spot coming up next year.
Okay, so in the team final, the Americans were not in the top 4.
So they probably came in 5th place. Probably 6th place.
Perhaps. We don't, I mean, it was Romania, Soviet Union, East Germany, China. So that's not even including Bulgaria, or I guess the Czech Republic had kind of fallen off by then.
I just know in 1987 the Americans did do team finals. I just don't know what place they came in. It probably was 6th place or last.
Okay, that's good to know. Hang on one second.
Hang on one second, and then he lost. Oh no! I have to talk to you guys by myself until he gets back on. Hey Brody, sorry that we didn't say anything to you, friend. Hey everybody, thank you guys for watching. There is Oscar. He is back.
I'm sorry, I pressed the wrong button. Okay, so what'd you say?
I said it's fine.
Oh, thank you. So we were at the all-around competition in 87?
Yes. I think Sabrina Mars
okay,
was
again,
top of the...
She was not, she qualified in 21st, and she was not the top American in that year.
Christy Phillips
This is not qualification, I'm sorry. She finished in 21st. I haven't been looking at qualifications at all. So sorry if I said that word by accident. Christy Phillips? Was she on this team?
Yeah, she was on this team.
Well, I don't think she made any finals, did she?
Not even all-around finals?
The Americans had Melissa Marlowe, Missy Marlowe, who I know nothing about, but I know is an important figure in gymnastics, culturally and historically. Melissa Marlowe finished 23rd, and she was the lowest American. The second American was Sabrina Mar. She finished 21st, and the top American, get this, in 19th place was Rhonda Fane.
Wow. I'm not. Okay, wow.
Ronda Fame. So the trend is just, it's such a downwards trajectory. What is it, 19th place? Anyways, no Americans in the Vol final. No Americans in the Bars final.
No, I'm really surprised by you just talking that the top three Americans were Sabrina Mars, Christy Phillips, and Kelly Garrison.
I'm gonna look up Christy Phillips right now to see what happened, just to confirm she was on the team.
Oh, she was on the team. I know she was on the team.
Okay.
I just don't know why she didn't make all around finals. She was their best gymnast by a lot.
'88 was her main. That was like her main goal, right?
Oh yeah, she didn't go to 88. I know that though.
But she didn't. She didn't really ever try for a different Olympics, did she?
She did 2000.
So '88 was her main one, though, right?
Yeah.
She turned into a senior in '87. She was able to earn a berth on the '87 World Team, but she only placed 45th in the all-around at that meet. She did, however, successfully submit an original balance beam mount, described as a press to side handstand front walkover to side stand on both legs. The skill is now referred to as the Phillips and Dakota points and currently has a D difficulty rating. That's different from her reverse planche.
It's walking it all the way over to standing up.
That's what it, yeah, just sideways. Okay, that's interesting. We both learned something new already. So,
gosh,
no
doing
Americans.
Christy Phillips, the original Vanessa Atler. If y'all want to see the original Vanessa Atler, her name is Christy Phillips. Like, that is just who she was. Like,
get this, for two consecutive but non-consecutive years, like 85 Worlds and 87 Worlds, the only American event finalist is Sabrina Marr again. And
floor,
she finishes 8th on floor.
With this damn Born in the U.S. routine that I remember that sports. And when we do our worst floor music of all time, our greatest and worst, that damn Born in the USA is on there as the worst. One of the worst pieces of floor music that I hate so much, right along with Leanne Wong and her marching all the way home floor routine. But I hate this.
So just to recap, in '85, Sabrina Marr is the only event finalist for the USA. She's 6th on vault, so different event. She qualifies to floor in '87.
And the gag is, so y'all hear me hyping up Sabrina, right? In '85, hyping up Sabrina again in '87. But does Sabrina make the '88 team? No. Does Christy Phillips make the '88 team? No. Who makes the '88 team, friend?
Wait, I don't remember what happened to Sabrina. Did she get injured?
To be honest, even I don't know the answer to this. She just stopped competing. I don't know if she was so hurt that they medically retired her, but I don't know.
When I look up Sabrina Marr gymnast, there's basically nothing. Like, not just like there's some stuff, and I just looked for 5 seconds, but all of the usual resources that cover other gymnasts, there's none of that. She doesn't have a USAG page. She's not on the medal count, any of those gymnastics websites. I remember watching an interview with her where she talked about how scared she was. It's like when she was competing still. She was talking about how frightening it was to learn and compete the Yurchenko vault.
Oh, Oscar, we need to interview Sabrina. That should be our goal.
Okay, I'll write it down. I'll add it to the list.
We need to get Sabrina back to the gymnastics community because, like, I think Sabrina has a story to tell because she was the top American girl that whole quad, and then for whatever reason in 1988, she just disappeared.
Why can't I just find like a bio of her or like her results? You know?
It's crazy. It's crazy.
That's very odd. It's yeah. That's very strange. If anyone has anything, please share.
And she's
Okay.
nowhere on. She's nowhere. She's not on the internet. She doesn't read. She hasn't done interviews with Jim Casket. Like, I don't. Whatever happened to that girl? She
There's this
really.
yogi. No, that's not her. I thought it was her.
She wants nothing to do with the sport of gymnastics, from what it seems like to me.
So curious. Okay, ready to go to 88?
Yeah.
You set me up for it. The team is the U.S. team finished in okay. This is strange to me because if you're on the Wikipedia page for the gymnastics at the 1988 Summer Olympics women's artistic team all-around final, they have the bronze color and next to East Germany and the United States, but they have East Germany with a 3 and USA with a 4, and East Germany's on top. But I just feel like it's incorrect to even have the United States be bronze. Like, no, you lost that, right? I feel like an American went and did this.
Oh, of course. Of course you did.
Yeah, so Michaela could tell that story better than I could, even though I have learned a lot about the situation in the past, like, couple weeks, just from listening to old interviews. But I think the USA was ahead of East Germany, was in third place after compulsories. And
So Caroli did it. He got rid of all of his lazy, non-talented gymnasts that was winning everything in America, and finally sculpted his American team to the way he wanted it to be in 1988. Right? He had them girls starving and shit, but it was happy as hell because they made it to the Olympic Games. So they get to the Olympic Games and compulsories. They had the best damn compulsory damn night of their damn lives or whatever, right? So they're in third place. They're like, oh shit, this is wow, Bella Caroli. This is why they look at Bella Caroli as that savior because they're like, wow, it's working. We're not in we're not in like eighth place and like we're in damn third place, right? So Bella Caroli being lazy instead of moving because you know how I think they still do it to this day. How they have now they have a coach who will move your board out of the way after you jump on the little springboard. They have a coach slide it out of the way or whatever, right? Well, Bella was being very lazy. It was like, hey, Rhonda, you're an alternate. Go and move them people's springboards out the way when they jump onto the thing or whatever. Thinking it was perfectly fine. Thinking he was doing nothing wrong. But he was doing something wrong because there was absolutely a rule that's saying that if you were not a competitive athlete on the floor, you were not allowed to be on the floor. And when I say on the floor, I mean like you know how like in event finals, like they'll have I don't know if they have Simone and Jordan. If Simone is doing bar finals, sometimes Jordan would be there to help her chalk up or whatever on the floor, but not on the podium. Where Ronda was actually on the podium.
And they knew the rules. The rules had been issued to all the teams. So it's not like they could claim they weren't aware. Right?
Well, Bella claims he's not aware of a lot of things that he should have been aware of. The same thing.
Right. He definitely claimed he wasn't made aware, but if you, according to other gymnasts and coaches, everyone was given the same set of rules that included that.
Correct.
So he just thought he was better than the rules or something.
Because of this, East German was like, bitch, why is Rhonda sitting there? No, it wasn't them?
No, she was. That's what the East German judge did. She was like, not on my watch.
Not on my watch, bitch. Not with the Americans being this close to us, bitch. Not with the Americans trying to threaten to take my damn bronze medal away, bitch. How about this? This girl wasn't supposed to be here to take that deduction. And they took the neutral deduction, and that's what cost the Americans their bronze medal. And they should have won the bronze medal in 1988, but because of this stupid thing, they were 1/10 behind the East Germans. They should. I think they were going to be tied with the East Germans, but because of this thing, they took away 1/10 of a point, and the East Germans was solidifying in third place.
So the United States finished 3/10 behind East Germany after the East German head judge took a half a point deduction. So they would have been 2/10 ahead.
Oh.
And from the interview with Rhonda Fain that I've listened to, she says that she didn't move the board not because she didn't want to block the judge's point of view, because she didn't want to distract her teammate, Kelly Garrison. I've also heard this hypothesis that the judge was also there in 1980 at the Olympics when Nadia Comaneci was there with Bella, and it was kind of like payback for Bella jumping, or not 1980, 84 in Los Angeles. Bella had broken other rules being a coach and hadn't been penalized. So this was kind of like, could be payback, so to speak.
Oh, yeah, Bella was an ass as a coach and made a lot of enemies with a lot of the judges, and I absolutely could see this being payback.
Me too. So let me name the team for everyone. This team that lost the bronze medal, unfortunately, due to their bad coaching, I'll put it that way, was Phoebe Mills, who had not been to Worlds yet, I don't think. Brandy Johnson, who was also new. Kelly Garrison, who competed at the 1980 Olympic trials. Hope Spivey,
I think at this point it was Kelly Garrison Steen or something like that, because she was already married and everything.
Yeah, you're right. She got married before Kelly Garrison Steves. I've been ignoring all of the taken names so far. Hope Spivey, Shell Stack, and Melissa Marlowe, who we did mention before on one of those teams, but I can't remember which one. But I think Hope Spivey and Shell Stack were new, right?
I mean, other than, damn, I think now that the whole team was new, other than Kelly and
Missy.
And Missy. Wow, that's crazy.
What's so crazy about that to you?
How Bella was like, bitch, none of y'all lazy bitches who got getting us in last place is gonna make this Olympic team. If y'all want to make this Olympic team, you better come with it.
And imagine Kelly and Missy had been bumped out by Sabrina and Christy. That would be all new, fresh meat. So going on to the finals. In the all-around final, the top placing American was Brandy Johnson, and she really redeemed the USA here, I feel like. She finished in 10th place, which is the highest place since like 84 or 83. Something like that. Phoebe Mills finished 15th, and Kelly Garrison Steves finished 16th.
Respectively.
Totally. It's better than whatever the last ones were doing. Brandy Johnson made the vault final at the 1988 Olympics. She finished in 5th place. 4th place was Boriana Stoyanova from Bulgaria. But that's a great accomplishment for her at a fully attended Olympics. I think that qualifies her already as a trailblazer for USA Gymnastics.
Well, it would have been if it wouldn't have came to beam finals.
I don't even know that she was in beam finals.
No,
I thought that Phoebe
beam
Mills
finals.
and Kelly Garrison were in beam finals.
But Phoebe actually won a bronze medal, so.
But you can have 2 trailblazers on a team. So Phoebe Mills was 8th on uneven bars and the only American in that final. Sorry, I lost my page.
I think Phoebe made all of the finals except both vaults.
The balance beam was Phoebe Mills shared the bronze medal with Gabriela Potorac from Romania, and Kelly Garrison Steeves finished in 7th place. But I think she hit her routine. I don't think she fell or anything.
She had little wobbles, but she was trying the hardest routine possible. Like, I think she did.
It definitely was a very high difficulty.
I think she was doing round off full twist and back tuck as a mount.
I think she just did the back tuck for the final, but I could be wrong. I think she held back a little bit, but it was still comparatively so much harder than the other mounts from the final. So in the floor final, Phoebe Mills qualified as well, and she finished in 6th place. Wow, Phoebe Mills was that girl.
Bella had him. One.
And she never ended up going to a Worlds, right?
No, she retired right after this. I think she went to Worlds, but in a different sport because she switched sports after this Olympics.
Okay. She had a sister who went to World Junior Figure Skating Championships. Let's see. Oh, here's a nice little blurb about Phoebe. Phoebe emerged as the U.S. team's most successful gymnast at the Olympics, leading the team to a 4th place finish, while she finished a modest 15th place in the all-around due to a fall on balance beam. She also qualified for 3 event finals, more than any other member of the team. She won a bronze on balance beam, tied with Potorac and behind Silavash and Shushanova. With her 3rd place finish, Mills became the first individual American female gymnast to win a medal in a fully attended Olympics, and the only American gymnast, male or female, to medal in Seoul. She also finished 8th on the uneven bars and 6th on the floor. Mills continued to compete in early 1989, but retired later that year due in part to the effects of Epstein-Barr syndrome, which I've never heard of. And then after retiring from gymnastics, Mills became involved with competitive diving, specializing in the 10-meter platform event. Cool. Thanks for sharing that. Okay, what's your favorite American team? Part of me is like considering 1980 for some reason.
Well, it might be 1980.
Which team won the most medals besides 84? Was it 88 because they won 1 medal?
Yes.
Okay, I think the writing's on the wall. It has to be 88. But I think you can say 80 because they had a shot at multiple medals. That's generous to put it that way, but it's true.
It is generous to put it that way because they did make a lot of the event finals in the 88. That's because of Phoebe and Phoebe and Brandy Johnson. and I don't know if they had other than Marshall Fredericks and maybe Kathy, who was gonna do and who was gonna shake the table at 80 like that. So my answer is
It's
no.
I just realized that it's a bit unfair and unhelpful, sorry, that I haven't listed just the names of the teammates from those worlds where they weren't in the top four, you know? So we don't even know who was on those teams.
I thought you did name the people.
I named anyone who made a final, but not the team because they weren't in the top four and they weren't on the page. So this is flawed if it's not already clear.
Um, yeah, I'm going with 88. You know what? No, fuck it. I'm going with 84. I'm going with 84. Because even though I don't think they would have won nowhere near as many medals, I still think Mary Lou would have had a shot if nothing else, vault and floor.
Here's how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be really horrible and just like not really inconsiderate. I'm just gonna count how many stars there are on each team.
Oh wow.
Okay, in 1980, I think Tracy Talavera is a star, Julianne McNamara is a star, Kathy Johnson's a star, Marcia Frederick is a star. And then I think you could say that Beth Klein and Lucy Collins are stars in their own right for different reasons. So that's
At the time, no.
Okay, that's a good point.
And I'm going to take away Julianne McNamara. At the time, no. Julianne wasn't as known as she was in '84.
But still, you can't take away Julianne Starr from me personally. She's a star on that team. 84, like I don't know if Mary Lou Retton is a star for me personally, but Kathy Johnson's a star. Julianne is a star. Tracy is a star. I don't know as much as I wish I did about Michelle and Pam. I think they're already behind 1980.
Oh, no. How can you not count Mary Lou Retton as the Olympic champion as a star?
Because I think she was just like really overscored, and her gymnastics is not pleasing to me.
That's your because you feel that way doesn't mean she wasn't a star. She was not only a star, she was the star.
Didn't I give you that disclaimer about how you can pick the team based off of your feelings? These are my feelings. I like the 1980 team the best between those two. Phoebe Mills is a star. Brandy Johnson is a star. Kelly Garrison's a star. And I just don't know the other three girls. I'm so sorry to them. So it has to be 1980 for me. The year they did not compete. Okay, that was good fun.
1980. Okay, because I'm thinking if it was a fully attended Olympic Games, the only really American girl who would have had a shot at any sort of medal would have been Mary Lou Retton, and would have been either vault or floor.
Oh wait, no. I think you're talking about 1984, right?
Yes, I'm so sorry. 1984. It would have been a fully attended Olympic Games. The only American girl that I think would have had a shot at any medal of any color would have been Mary Lou Retton on vault and floor just because of the high level of difficulty she was. I mean, Mary Lou Retton was doing a double layout in 1984. Like, I mean, say what you will, everybody else was doing a full twist and double back. Like Mary Lou Retton was doing a double layout, and her second coming back.
Bitch, the whole routine. She was doing double layout, full in, double tuck.
I mean, yeah, I mean, she was doing she was doing world class difficulty. I mean, like, we may not like
But does
y'all,
that make one a star?
I think she would have medaled. She could have won floor depending on her landings, depending on what they would have did with her choreography. Now, see, this is the other half. The Soviet Union being there, they would have been way more strict on her choreography and her dance and her lack of splits and her.
She would have looked so bad next to them. That's my theory. Okay, here's a fun fact. There was one gymnast at the 1984 LA Olympics, the fake Olympics, where there was one gymnast that qualified into every single final. Who was it?
Zabo? Another Romanian girl?
No.
Is she a Romanian or an American?
Yes.
Is she an American?
She's a starless American.
Mary Lou Retton qualified for every event?
She qualified first on vault, third on bars, fourth on beam, third on floor, first in the all around. Zabo was 13th on bars.
And see, one thing that we can't do is her tumbling and her vault. Like Mary Lou Retton really had a really straight Sukahara full. Like her Sukahara full for what the girls was doing back then was way better than everybody else's. Like it just was. Like so
I want to know also that Ma Yan Hong is the other gymnast who qualified to every except for one. She was 20th on vault, but she qualified to everything else. Okay, that was fun. We got to disagree. The first round, we just agreed, you know?
Okay. Now, this is the best one, and this is how we're going to talk. Because, this is becoming a 3-hour show already. So
I know. I was about to ask you, should we break this up, or do you want to keep going?
I could go for about another. I could go till about because I got to go to work in the morning time tomorrow, so I could go till about 11 o'clock without stressing.
That's very reasonable. Okay.
Another 45 minutes, 50 minutes. I mean.
So next we'll do the Soviet Union, right?
And this is gonna be the hardest one.
Definitely. I mean, it's gonna be hard to just even pick one for me personally.
I think I already know the best from the Soviet in my mind. Just us talking, because when you because you got to compare, like especially with the Romanians, I was comparing them a lot to the Soviets. So I already know in my mind.
Okay, I'm just guessing based off of you saying that your opinion is based off of our conversation partly. Are you thinking of the 1984 team?
Absolutely. That was the greatest Soviet team that ever was constructed.
Okay, we'll see. I'm not certain that I agree. So let's just go through. Okay.
Feeling it with this blue hair, you guys.
It looks so good.
I feel like
what's an adjective for blue?
I don't know.
Like the way there's verdant for green. Oh, wow. Okay, so in 1980, the Soviet Union got to host their own Olympic Games in Moscow. They won the team all-around competition. The team consisted of how do I want to order them? Okay. I was trying to do oldest to youngest, but I'm not even certain. I know that some of these girls were around, even though they didn't go to Worlds in that quad. So Davidova was a senior in 1976, but she did not go to Montreal. Or I don't think she even made it to Worlds prior to the 1980 Olympics.
I don't think so either. And Davidova is a strange one too because to me, I always thought she was like 14. I didn't realize she was already almost damn 19 at that damn Olympic Games.
I was
Like
shocked to see that she was at the 1976 American Cup. I was like, wow.
I didn't realize how old and I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's just I thought she was like 13, 14, but no, Mama was grown in 1980.
She must have been 19 or 18.
Yeah, because I know in 81 she was 20. But they kept harping on that she's 20 now. They kept harping on that fact.
So Davidova was on the team. Maria Filatova, who was, I believe, the youngest member of the 1976 Olympic team.
Mhm.
And she had been to Worlds in that quad. She had made a name for herself. Great difficulty, great artistry on floor, I would say. Nellie Kim, who had also gone to the 1976 Olympics, but had played a larger role for the Soviet Union team and had won individual medals there and had even become world all-around champion in 1978 or 9. There was no 78 worlds, was there?
There was no, there had to be because Marsha Frederick was the 1978 World Equal Bars champion.
1977 is when there was no world. So 1978, it must have been Mukina, and then 1979 must have been Nellie Kim. I'm
Yes.
guessing. Let me double check that.
That sounds right.
Yes, Nellie Kim won the silver in 78 to her teammate Mukina, and in 79, she became world all-around champion. Okay, now we have Elena Naimushina, who is younger than those other gymnasts and less well known. I think she was on the 1979 World Championships team where Romania beat the Soviet Union. Oh gosh, did I misspeak earlier? Did I say 1987 was the first time that they did that? Oops, I'm sorry if I did. Okay. It's a lot to keep track of. But then you have Natalia Shaposhnikova and Stella Zakharova. I think this is like an insanely talented team. Just
Yeah.
like I don't see why this team is so much should be lower than 1984 beyond they were doing more difficulty on certain events in 84. The talent was there with this team.
Talent was there for that team, but the star power of that Olamov team, in my opinion, is unrivaled. Okay.
I think that the top 3 that you kept naming beat the top 3 on this team any day. But the bottom 3 on that team are losing to the bottom 3 on this team most times.
That's an interesting way of putting it.
Like I think Naimushina, Zakharova, and Filatova were the bottom 3, and those are just like incredible gymnasts to have as your worst 3 gymnasts. Incredible. I'm obsessed. So on vaults, oh wait, we did the all-around, sorry. So this is the 1980 Olympics. Davidova wins the all-around. On the vault, Shaposhnikova wins the title on vaults. Filatova is able to tie for the bronze on bars. On beam, Davidova is able to win silver. Shaposhnikova is able to win bronze. And on floor, Nellie Kim ties with Nadia for gold. And Shaposhnikova wins another medal on bronze. So I think technically Shaposhnikova is the most successful gymnast from this Olympics because she won a gold with the team, a bronze on beam, a bronze on floor, and a gold on vaults, versus Komenich winning a silver, a gold, a gold. No, that's definitely better. I take it back. Okay, moving on to 81. These worlds were, like I mentioned, supposed to be in Mexico, but they took place in Moscow again. So Nadia was not there, and that helped things a bit. Not for the team, but she might have won some individual medals.
Yes.
So the Soviet Union was able to take first place back after coming in second to Romania in 79. The team was returning Davidova, Filatova, Zakharova, and then half of the team was new. We have Olga Bacherova, we have Elena Polevaya, who I know nothing about, the only team member to not qualify to any finals, and Natalia Ilyenko, who is a gorgeous gymnast.
Yes.
In the all-arounds, the Soviet Union swept. Olga Bacherova was first, Maria Filatova was second, and Davidova, the Olympic champion, was third after she fell on her beam dismount. She could have won, like easily, I think. So, in the vault final, Stella Zakharova came in second, Davidova came fourth. In the bars final, you had Davidova tied for bronze, and Olga Bacherova came in 8th place. In the balance beam final, you had Filatova in 6th and Davidova in 7th. No medal for them there. And then on floor, Natalia Ilyenko, her only final was floor, and she became the world champion. Davidova took the silver medal. So medaling in everything except for beam. I'm just gonna do this for myself because I need help keeping track. Already, in my opinion, 1980 was better than 1981.
Yes.
Okay, 1983 was in Budapest, and the returning teammates were only Olga Bacherova, so there was a year off, 1982, no worlds, and Natalia Ilyenko, the reigning world champion on floor. Everyone else was new. You had Tatiana Frolova, one of the first gymnasts to throw a full twisting double back off of beam, Olga Mostepanova, Albina Shishova, the first gymnast credited with doing a standing full on beam, and Natalia Yurchenko, inventor of the round-off entry onto the vault.
Which was not
So
her best event, actually. Her best event was beam.
beam or bars, I would say. Beam was great.
And the other thing is Shaposhnikova, who everybody knows for her shap skill on bars. Bars was probably her worst event. Her best event also was. It was the equivalent of Jade Carey creating a skill on bars and just everybody doing it, so it becomes a popular skill, and therefore Jade Carey.
No, it's not. Don't do Natalia like that. She's much better on the other events than Jade.
Okay.
It would be like
Simone creating a skill on bars that becomes so popular that everybody does it, and 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 that's the skill that she's known for when bars is her worst event.
I like that much better. Thank you. Even though it's flawed because Simone has tons of famous events, or I guess her skills aren't really popular with other gymnasts, so it's not the same.
It's not impossible for other gymnasts. If she created something on bars like I don't know, a transition that people could figure out and like do, and then everybody just did it. Because that's what happened with the Shaposh. Like, and the sad part is, people still don't do the Shaposh. It's the damn Maloney that people do, that people call a toe on shaft. That's really why it's because it's so damn popular.
And Kristen Maloney said that she started competing or training the toe on Shaposh because she couldn't do a clear hip one well. So, okay. Great team. A really great team.
But then here we go, my boo. Oh, wait, you finished during the world.
I was gonna do the rest of the worlds or the individual medals. So in the all around, Yurchenko was the world champion. Mastepanova was behind her in second. Zabo denied, or they were denied a sweep. Tatiana Frolova came in fifth place. So Bulgaria was very much strong at this competition, it looks like. Vault, Bichereva Olga was fifth, and Yurchenko, the reigning world all-around champion, she got a 10 on her Yurchenko eponymous vault in the all-around, and then in the event final, she does her Yurchenko vault and she breaks both her legs, and she's out of all the finals, even though she qualified to like.
Wait,
She qualified to every final, and this was her first one.
I didn't even know this. Really?
Because thus Natalia Yurchenko's world's all-around gold medal is her only individual medal, world or Olympic.
Wow.
It's so sad, right?
I didn't know this.
It's possible she did win 2 individual medals at the Friendship Games, for people who are going to try to correct me. So, yeah, vault, that was very sad. She broke both her legs. Bars, Frolova was fourth. Only one Soviet gymnast into the bars competition, which is unusual. On balance beam, Mastepanova became the world champion, and Tatiana Frolova was fifth. On floor, Mastepanova won the silver medal, and there was only one Soviet gymnast in the final. Unusual. Again, I think this team, to me, was standing out. It's my own fault, because I want to say that the gymnasts I don't know as well are the weak points of the team in comparing them. But honestly, you could also look at that as like, those are the gymnasts Oscar has researched the least. So like, it's my own fault, for not looking them up and appreciating their gymnastics. So I personally would put 1980 still in the lead, based off of my personal feelings. Even though this team is crazy because I think they have like, Olga Bichereva was a world all-around champion, Yurchenko was a world all-around champion, and Mastepanova became the Olympic champion. So, bam.
I would put this team ahead of 1980, in my opinion.
Any reason?
Natalia Yurchenko was on this team.
She is like, I think I like her just as much as I like Mastepanova. In fact, there are areas of her gymnastics where I like her much more than Mastepanova.
Definitely. I'm not a Mastepanova fan like all of y'all people are. She's a beautiful gymnast.
I think my favorite Mastepanova piece of gymnastics is her 1983, her world's floor, her floor from that worlds. It has a lot of, people don't like it, but I love it.
Wasn't Mastepanova the one who did the very first person to do the music that Leanne did in 2021?
If she did, it's not the routine I'm thinking of.
Okay.
She dances mostly to like ballet and like Tchaikovsky, who's a composer that I like. So anyway, you ready to move on?
Sure.
We can keep talking about it if you want. Because I feel like most people think that Mastepanova was a world all-around champion, and she wasn't. She won silver that year. But she did win 5 gold medals, including the all-around at the 1984 Olympics.
I'm gonna say this is gonna be so horrible. I'm so happy that skill is named the Onodi and not the Mastepanova, because that would be so hard to say each time.
I bet someone would have shortened it, right? But I understand.
She did a back handspring layout step out to a Mosta.
Amosta. It doesn't sound good, to be honest. Okay, now we're at the Friendship Games, the 1984 Olympics. Oh gosh. Okay. The Soviet Union won gold
Clearly,
by 2.7 points or something.
doesn't even make
So,
sense.
sorry,
Okay.
I just missed what you said. So the team was Irina Baraksanova. Oh, let me see. Let me talk about the returnees. The returnees were Natalia Ilyenko, Olga Mastepanova, and Natalia Yurchenko, as well as Tatiana Frolova, four returning gymnasts. The two new gymnasts were Irina Baraksanova and Yelena Shushinova.
Period.
So in the all-arounds, in the individual all-arounds, Olga Mastepanova won by scoring in the optionals 4 perfect tens, a perfect 40, which has never happened since.
And should have not happened there.
Footage is really hard to come by though from these competitions.
I think even if
So
that footage, I think everybody would agree that should have not happened.
I'm just saying I haven't seen most of this stuff, so I don't know what's up. Shushinova. Oh, I didn't know that she tied for bronze. I knew that she won the bronze in the all-around, but she tied with Maxi Gnauk. And Hanna Riechna won the silver medal. So on
And,
vault,
and those are just four names right there that just proves Mary Lou Retton wouldn't be placed in the top six at damn this Olympic Games. Like,
right, and that those four you're missing already. Yurchenko. That's the fifth one. But those are, I guess it's no, those are two Soviets, and Yurchenko's the third Soviet. Three Soviets, Czech gymnast, a GDR gymnast. In sixth place was another Czech gymnast. In seventh was a GDR and a Bulgarian.
and then also Zabo would have scored a lot better. All the Romanians would have been a lot better.
Why do you say that?
Oh, I think definitely watching the Romanians in 1984, they kind of relapsed a lot at this Olympic Games. They're like, it's the Americans. Just don't hurt yourself. Like,
I can see that, but I've never heard anyone talk about that until now, actually.
so Zabo form was a lot looser than it ever has been. Like her knees was a lot. Like Zabo wasn't. I mean, she was trying, but she wasn't trying like she would have tried if the Soviets was there. Like Zabo could have been a lot better than she was at this Olympic Games. She could have did a lot more difficulty than she was throwing at this Olympic Games.
Those are great points. If she had the Soviets there, the Czechs, the GDR gymnasts, she would have felt the pressure, and maybe she would have felt like she needed to up her game. I think that's totally plausible.
Doing a certain bar routine for the Romanians in team finals. I think she kept falling on her Tkachev. So guess what she did? She took that shit straight out. She couldn't have done that if she was with the damn Soviets. She would have had to figure it out.
Interesting. Do you think that any of Silivash's gymnastics improved from 77 to or 87 to 88? Any events or any aspects of her gymnastics?
The thing what they did with Silivas and Shushinova, I'm so sorry, is they started watering both of their routines down for the 1988 Olympic Games. They weren't doing nearly as much difficulty. as they were doing in '87. Um, I think it was a strategy of trying to be perfect throughout the whole Olympics. I'm just not sure how I felt about that. They were perfectly going. They were clearly going after 10s.
Right. Okay. So maybe she was more, her gymnastics was more polished, you think? Or not necessarily?
They watered it down to be more polished. So yes, and yes.
Are we live on Twitter right now or just YouTube?
Just YouTube and my Facebook page. I'm going to upload this to Twitter as soon as we get off.
Okay, great. Okay. Moving along. So, 84 Friendship Games. Yurchenko, she finishes off of the podium, which is very sad. But she finishes in 5th place. Then when in the vault final, 2 Soviet gymnasts shared the gold. It was Yurchenko and Mastepanova. Sorry. And then on the bars, you had Yurchenko won the silver medal, and Ilyenko came in 5th place. On the beam, Olga Mastepanova became the Olympic champion with a perfect 20 from prelims and the optionals or finals. Ilyenko came in 4th place, and on the floor, Olga Mastepanova shared the gold with Maxi Gnauk, and her teammate Shushanova came in 8th place.
And at that time, I think Shushanova was also trying to throw a double layout, but it was nowhere near as good as her move.
That sounds plausible, but I do know that she did compete full twisting double back off the bars. Can you think of any other gymnasts who were doing that then?
I think most girls wasn't even doing double backs off the bar. They were still doing those Omaniche style dismounts, like those.
That's what Maxi Gnauk won all those titles with. A clear hip, hecht or whatever, with a half turn.
I mean, all of those. And you know what? I'm really sad that those dismounts kind of. I hope what's her face from Canada brings those backs because those aren't easy dismounts either. Like it's just nowadays they would have to be laid out, but all of them.
The only gymnasts I can think of are Elza Gertz does a Mukina dismount, which has no twisting, but it's a clear hip, and then you do another back. And obviously Ellie Black has trained the clear hip forward salto with a half turn. I saw her do it that in tucked and piked. She trained it a tucked 1.5, what Andrea Pickens did.
She used to do a toe on layout half. I think it's named the Black.
No, I think that's the Moors after Victoria. Right?
Maybe.
I think you taught me that.
maybe.
I definitely
do it too because it's still a D in this code of points. As long as they're laid out, I think it would be hard to get. Oh, I think Betty got the clear hip one named after her. Betty was doing the clear hip layout front with a half for a while.
Did Andrea do a clear hip or a toe on?
Toe on.
A toe on. Okay. So, how does this team stack up? Do you still feel it should be number 1 so far?
Absolutely.
Can you name all of the members?
No, but
why are they your favorites? Are you just why are you able to? It seems like you have no problem with overlooking the weak points of the team as long as they have great points.
Points in the team is Shushanova, not Listanova, Lord. Shushanova.
I don't think she's a weak point. I mean, she was one of the ones who medaled.
No, I'm not saying she's a weak point. I'm saying they have no weak points on this team. It's Shushanova.
Let me name them for you.
Okay.
Irina Baraksanova did not make a final. Frolova did not medal. Ilienko did not medal.
That doesn't make them weak. They just didn't medal.
But their Soviet teams were like, okay, that's true. Just because you didn't medal doesn't mean you're weak. They're per country rules and stuff like that, and lineups, positions. But again, I feel the same way that I feel about the last team, like, or 81. It's just their weak points are weaker than the 80 teams' weak points for me.
Not for me at all.
I wish we had someone else's opinion. It's so quiet in the chat. Maybe people will watch it back since Twitter is your main viewership, right?
Yes.
And they'll leave their opinions. Let me know if you agree with me or Michaela about this specific topic. Okay, you ready to finish up the Soviets?
Yes.
Okay, 85 worlds were in Montreal, and the Soviet Union won. They had 1, 2, 3, 4 returning gymnasts. Irina Baraksanova was back, Olga Mastepanova was back, Yelena Shushanova was back, and Natalia Yurchenko, all the way back from 83, world all-around champion. The two newcomers were Vera Kolesnikova, future mother of Victoria Komova, and Oksana Omelianchik, superstar, in my opinion.
Who's also known for her skills she's never competed.
She does have a skill named after her, but what skill are you thinking of?
Her one.
Oh, you mean the one that doesn't look? It wouldn't get credited today.
What she did is what she did was a 3/4 chest roll loop circle.
She never passed through vertical. You're right.
What they're giving it credit for is a 3/4 to a handstand, which is absolutely positively not what she did. Not nowhere near what she was doing.
No, I totally agree. She's also, I would say, largely credited with being the first gymnast to perform back-to-back tumbling for the women.
Yeah.
You agree? You would agree with that? Okay. So, in the all-around final, once again, Natalia Yurchenko sadly prevented the USSR from sweeping. She's the only one who misses out. Oksana Omelianchik is the world co-world champion, along with Shushanova, Yelena Shushanova.
Yes.
Interestingly, a lot of you will know, but worth mentioning that neither of them originally qualified to the all-around final, and they were both substituted in at the expense of, I think it was Baraksanova and Mastepanova.
Yes.
High drama. So Yurchenko finished in 6th place with a 9.125 on bars. In the event finals,
the last time we saw Yurchenko compete.
definitely at a World Championships, but I think she went to the Chunichi Cup the following year. Is that possible? Okay, so vaults. Yelena Shushanova is the vault world champion. Yurchenko finishes 6th.
Which Shushanova took Yurchenko's vault, and really, that's the technique that everybody does, even to this day, the way Shushanova does it, not the way Yurchenko does it.
Would you agree? Am I correct in saying that this was, well, I don't know about competitions, but well, tell me what you know. I'm gonna say a rogue statement, and you'll clean it up for me if you're nice enough. This is the first competition where the Yurchenko 1.5 was landed. Yelena Shushanova did it.
Yeah, I think that's correct.
I mean, I'm sure she did it domestically, and I don't know if she did it at smaller meets, but I think the first time at Worlds or Olympics, for sure.
I think she might have done it at Alamos first.
That's totally possible too. Again, the footage is really hard to come by, so I haven't seen her vault final or her vaults in general from that competition. Okay, get
Yeah,
this. No, oh,
I,
sorry.
I'm so sorry. I heard one time. I'm not sure that she debuted both the Yurchenko 1.5 and the Yurchenko double at 1984 Alamos. I'm not sure how true that is.
That would be incredible. Goodness. I hope that comes to light sooner rather than later. So get this. I'm gagged that no Soviets qualified to the bars final.
In 1985,
Yeah.
not even Shushanova.
No, let's see where Shushanova. She was. Shushanova. Well, no. Shushanova had the meltdown in compulsory bars, and that's why she didn't make the all around final.
Oh.
She fell twice. Have you never? You've definitely seen it. It's hilarious, and Monica Phelps does insane commentary over it.
What about Amelia Antoinette? Why didn't she qualify the bars final?
I think she fell on her tucked pack salto,
Oh.
but I could be wrong. She definitely fell on bars in the optionals.
Oh wow.
So, do you want to try naming the bars podium from that year?
1985.
We're in
Maxine.
Montreal.
Maxine. Nope. Was she the bars champion?
No, remember we went over like an hour or two ago that
Oh.
85 euros was her last competition.
Okay, I'm so sorry. Okay. 1985. And no Soviets made bars final.
No Soviets, no Americans, no Chinese.
Who?
You want me to give you the names?
Was it Zabo?
Zabo made the final. She was 6th.
Was it Silovich? No.
No. There was a second Romanian though. In the final, not on the podium. I would be really impressed if you came up with any of these names. Although we did discuss at least 2 of these gymnasts earlier tonight.
Oh, we have. Okay. Is it is it Ritna?
She won the bronze medal. Yes.
Is it is it Maya who?
No, there were no Chinese in the finals. Or in the bars final, sorry.
Is it somebody from like Czech Republic or something like that?
Richna's from Czech Republic, but the gymnasts who came in 1st and 2nd are from the same country. Get this while you're thinking. The only event final that China qualified a single gymnast to was vault, and they qualified 2.
Gosh, what the hell vaults were they doing? Is it somebody from East Germany?
They're both from East Germany.
Oh, I'm never gonna guess their names, so go ahead.
That's so understandable. Dagmar Kirsten won silver, and Gabrielle Fonrich was the world champion.
Congratulations to them two gymnasts. I've never heard of them before.
Dagmar, we mentioned because she won a bronze in the all-around at one of these worlds. Voinier, Camelia was fourth.
Oh, dope.
Okay, so beam, Shushanova wins the bronze medal on beam. Yurchenko comes in sixth place. Then we get to floor, another rematch between the two top Soviets in the all-around final. Shushanova goes up first. She does like a 9.95, and she goes into the lead. Omelianchik scores a 10, and she becomes the world champion. And that's how they differentiate after tying in the all-around. So this was a great team. I'm going to say that the weak points, were they all-stars? Honestly, this team is amazing. Yurchenko is a star. Mastepanova is a star. Omelianchik is a star. Shushanova is a star. And on a good, like, if I'm in a, not in a bad mood or anything, like, I could totally call Baraksanova and Kolesnikova stars. How about you? Still below 84?
Yes, but barely.
Kolesnikova did get much better in 86. I think that's when the Goodwill Games happened.
Mm-hmm.
So this was not her best. I think this team is going to go second for me, if not first. It's definitely ahead of 84 because, well, Frolova is just a nothing. She's starless to me, and she was on those teams. Ilienko is a star, so it's very close. Inconclusive. Okay, second to last team, 87 Worlds, Rotterdam. The Soviet Union is defeated by Romania for the second time, since the first time since 1979. What we hinted at earlier was that the Soviets used a unique procedure to choose their team. They went by all-around order at their trials, which they had never done before, and many credit this as the reason they lost, and they never did it again.
Yep.
The team is Shushanova, Omelianchik. Oh, only two returning, so four new gymnasts. We have superstar Svetlana Baitova joining them. Super junior, but kind of burned out senior Elena Gurova, the first gymnast to do a DTY in 1984 when she was 12 or like 11. And then we have Tatiana Tuzhikova, who is the first gymnast to do a full twisting double layout. All-around final, Shushanova gets silver, Baitova gets fourth, and Omelianchik is fifth.
Svetlana Boginskaya wasn't on that team. I thought she was on that team.
I totally skipped her. I'm so sorry. She was on that team. Thank you. I'm clearly fading. But yeah, this was not a good all-around final also, compared to the past where basically every other team had at least two, if not all three Soviets on the podium. Vault Shushanova is able to defend her world title, and Baitova comes fourth. Baitova is the originator of the DTY, or it was named after her is what I meant. She's not the originator. That's Gurova, her teammate. Shushanova wins bronze on bars. Baitova wins. This was the championships where she came fourth 4 times. I'm remembering. Svetlana Baitova came fourth on bars. Shushanova won silver on beam. Boginskaya won bronze on beam. On floor, Shushanova redeemed herself, won gold, and Svetlana Baitova came fourth again on floor. That's sad. So this is a great team.
But it's not nowhere near the top. Let's go.
Okay, something that's holding... Elena Gurova is the weak point for me, as well as Tuzhikova. Even though they are famous and like talented for good reason. But Boginskaya, this is a baby Boginskaya. She was gonna get much better. I know I've been inconsistent with that. Okay, last team of the night. 1988 Summer Olympics in Seoul, Korea. The team consists of veterans Svetlana Baitova, Svetlana Boginskaya, Elena Shushinova. So half new, half old. The newcomers are Natalia Lashenova, Elena Shevchenko, and Olga Strajeva. Olga Strajeva is a personal favorite of mine, along with Baitova. Okay. In the all-around final, Shushinova won, is the Olympic champion. Boginskaya claims bronze.
Yes, she does.
In the vault final, Boginskaya claims gold. She's the Olympic champion.
This is her only event she's won the Olympic. Of all of the events that we love Svetlana Boginskaya for, this is the event that she's the Olympic champion on. It's vault.
Right. She, according to her, she was supposedly, or no, it's not supposedly, going from prelims, going into the final, Svetlana was leading on balance beam. That's all I meant to say. Sorry.
Oh,
So she would say that she was the favorite in this interview, but the numbers also were on her side. So not total delusion. Okay. Uneven bars, Shushinova is able to claim the bronze, and Boginskaya comes in fifth. On the balance beam, Shushinova again is able to manage a medal somehow, a silver, and Boginskaya comes in fifth again. Then the floor final, the last final, Boginskaya claims silver after her teammate Shushinova, who scored a perfect 10 in the team and all-around finals, she comes in seventh place.
I think she went out of balance on her Arabian front rollout thing.
I think that she also actually she messed up the momentum. Like she put her hands down or something.
Something
Like she
that.
totally broke the rhythm. And yeah. Is it possible that she even put her hands down on her full twisting double back?
I think it was no, I think it was the rollout thing. I think she rolled out, bounced back, was out of bounds, stopped, paused, got back up, and finished the tumbling pass. I think that's what happened.
I'm 85% sure she put her hands down on one of her double saltos. So her first or final pass.
It's possible for that too.
Okay, this team for me, is it in the conversation for best Soviet team? I say Shevchenko is holding this team back, and I know she has a lot of fans out there, so let's fight about it. But this is not the top Soviet team for me. I'm sorry. But they have tons of stars, don't get me wrong. Shushinova, total star. Boginskaya, rising star. Lashenova, total star. Baitova, total star. Strajeva, total star. So it's like this much, the margin of difference between these teams, for me at least. It's not like huge amounts or anything. It's like one gymnast.
So for you, so in conclusion, for the Soviets, which is the best team of this generation?
It is between honestly, I'm gonna just do three. I'm gonna be difficult, I'm sorry. Bronze goes to 84, silver goes to 85, and the gold goes to 1980. Those were the girls. They were fierce competitors.
So if we're going to give medals to every team that we named thus far, how which who's your gold, silver, and bronze medalist? Romania, U.S.
Only the favorites.
Yeah.
So we're comparing. For me, it would be 1987 Romania versus 1980 USA versus 1980 USSR. Well, listen, this is kind of what I was telling you when I was proposing the idea. To me, I have a hard time completely giving it to 1980 USSR because in 1987 they were beating the girls in certain ways. I think they had better, well, I was about to say they had better extension in their leaps and flexibility, but they definitely had more difficulty in their vaults, and they definitely had more difficulty in their dismounts, I would say, off of bars and beam. No one was doing a full in off of bars or beam in 1980, for example.
True. But for their level of difficulty and where they were at, like I, for me, because I have to pick an American on the podium stand, it's going to be 1984 Americans. And then the silver medal team is going to be the 1984 Soviets. But to me, the most dominant team that we discussed is the 1987 Romanians.
Oh, you give them gold, not bronze.
Yes.
They definitely are not. They're beating the USA, all of their teams. I
Every
think it. I think that part of it, there are some gymnasts on that team, the Romanian team, I just don't have any emotions towards. Like, I can't name all those girls again, even though we just did it. I think there was a Celestina Popa, but like, I've only seen her beam and floor. I'm much more familiar with the 1980 Soviet team and the 1985 Soviet team. I've seen all of their optionals, so this is a great reason for me to go watch the 1987 Romanian team. Thank you. Okay, this has been so long, but so much fun for me. So thanks for indulging me. I hope you had
um,
fun too.
yes, I did have fun. So everybody, this is the let me put the microphone close to me. So everybody, this is the end of season one of the Loves Gymnastics podcast. I know we went through many names, but it's the Loves Gymnastics podcast. And what we're gonna do is it's not hell, we'll probably do a show very soon, but my plan is to take a slight break, um, just a slight break, just to refresh. I mean, we gotta
Maybe
switch
maybe
gears and
upgrade a little bit.
maybe upgrade a little bit, switch gears because I need to switch gears from elite to NCAA because NCAA is coming up faster than we know it, and y'all are gonna want y'all NCAA coverage, and I have to get my mind into it because last year I just was not into the NCAA at all, and I don't want to be like that this year. I want to be down. I want to be into it. Um, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for indulging with us.
I
I'm
would
going.
just suggest everyone, if you're interested, if you have any interest and you haven't seen, it looks like Jim Castic just put out a special episode solely focusing on superstar Dominique Dawes. So go check that out. That looks very enjoyable to me.
Well, I know what I'll be doing for I go to sleep. And with that being said, I love you all. We will see y'all real soon. Probably around my birthday time. Probably that was the next time I'll probably try to schedule a show. Um,
Thank you for watching season one. We hope you enjoyed. Thanks for having me on as a co-host sometimes, Michaela, a
no,
contributor. I hope that we satisfy your gymnastics urges and we continue to deliver the goods in season two. It's so
absolutely,
fun.
absolutely. And just remember, oh, you was in the SEC now, so the SEC is going to be turned up when college comes back around. And with that being said, I love you guys. See you guys next time. Bye. Bye, Oscar.